Joey Options.
Joey Options, yeah.
Go get him.
Good job, Joey Options.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade During the Midday. That is your boy, Joey Options, and I am Sharif, and we're going to wait for everyone to weasel their way on over from the other stream. Shout out to Darwin, who says, love me some Fibonacci's. Yeah, the jokes are going to come fast and furious today. We're well aware of that. Shout out to Tammy KB. We got Adam DeLuce. We got Sixto V and Jorge Alvarado. The Sankofa as well. Shout out to T-Money and Abhu Go Hoos, as well as Malinowski. We got Epic Strategy. Shout out to them. Dude Rocks 420. What are you doing this Friday night? I have an idea. Lord Sanchez, as well as El Sol. Pitchbull. Shout out to VR Trades. Julio Trillo and Tang Bob. I like that one. And who else we got over here? We got Bilan Wood and Alexis Davis.
Alexis
Shout out to everybody.
Davis. Alex Davis himself there, my guy. I mean, hey, Shreve, I was telling you, Sean and yourself, I was talking to earlier in the day, and I said when the VIX spikes up over 60%, kind of like it did on the carry trade in the middle of the summer there, and like how it did when we had that FOMC meeting, sure enough, the market within a month or so, even less, creates new all-time highs.
Absolutely.
So are we headed on that type of trajectory?
Well, you know, like you're going to have to correct anyway. We'll have to wait and see. It looks awfully bullish right now. I thought we were going to fail 21.5 on the future, the new March contract, but we are headed up, sir. 562 now, HOD. We're in TSLL. We caught that dip off 437.5. We're going TSLL, not TSLA. It's not showing up on the board yet, but it will once we take a fill. So here's the deal. We're doing what I perceive to be a bull pennant. We had that big boy move off the implied balance low on that 417, and we did not stop till we took 444.4. That's $444.40 HOD. We dipped back down to a predictable area of support. Where's that at? That's yesterday's closing print at 436 and change. Also happened to be the 10 exponential. Now we're putting in higher lows, but we're putting in lower highs, doing that compression pattern. My hunch says we resolve to the upside, so that's why we're involved. We shall see. Looks like we're getting some good defense right now. Apple taking out high days. Softy taking out high days, Joseph. But I'm done talking about that. We're going to talk about these sectors, and then we're going to weasel into the lesson. Dude,
not a red sector today.
Gee.
That's the first time I've seen that in a long time. There's no doubt about that. But guys, top performing sectors, win, place, show. First, second, third, let's go. First place, surprisingly, is real estate, up about 2 1/10 there, guys. 2% on real estate. Healthcare up about 1 1/4 as well, too, folks. Oh. And then financials, taking that show money, 1 2/10 there, guys, 1.2% on the session. Okay, so we're going to go from the bottom up. Consumer staples, only up about 1/4% there, folks. And then we got the communication services up about 7/10, and then the utilities about 0.75% on the session. So those are the bottom three, and they're not too bad because the whole market is green today. So, I mean, no one wanted JP to rain on the Santa Claus parade that bad. We are slowly starting to recover, which is beautiful, but we needed that dip. And sure enough, we are slowly starting to recover. So
straight line, man. You know,
straight line, yeah, exactly. So everybody's like, no, not today, Papa Powell. You're not going to rain on this Christmas party, that's for sure.
Should we get into these Fibonacci's or what?
Fibonacci.
We're going to learn how to cook these Fibonacci fish anyway. So just joking, of course. Welcome. Today, guys, we're going to explore Fibonacci. Fan line is one of the most popular tools in technical analysis. You may already be obviously familiar with Fibonacci retracement levels, which are kind of used to identify areas of potential support and resistance. These Fib fan lines, though, they extend this concept a little bit further by using a set of angled lines to help predict how price may behave based on these fib ratios, okay? So these lines can give us kind of clues about potential trend reversals or corrections that we may have. So hopefully by the end of this lesson, we'll have a better understanding of how to use and draw these fib fan lines and how to apply them to real world trading. So let's get right to business, baby. But I just want to put up my Tesla side chart over here. Make sure that all is jiving. Are we good? Yeah, we're going. Okay. All right. So yes, thank you very much to the best production team around for Fibonacci. Shout out to Adara, who is quite amused with watching me cook with my fish hands there.
That's crazy.
I don't think that my hands would probably smell that good, Joseph.
No, I would assume not.
And I have like a dumb smirk looking on my face. I don't know
like
why,
the
bro.
smirk,
Whatever,
man.
bro. Anyway, not my best moment there, Joseph, but we're going to move on. All right, so let's go. So understanding these fib fan lines. So these Fibonacci fan lines are trend lines that are drawn from significant highs or significant lows on the chart, obviously, and they follow, as I mentioned, the fib ratios, 38.2, 50%, 61.8, et cetera. We all know the different ratios. The most important thing to remember, however, is that these lines are angled projections of these fib ratios. So we're not using the horizontal fib ratios. No, we're going to use kind of these diagonal trend lines based on the fib ratios. So instead of drawing horizontal levels, we draw angled trend lines that represent the Fibonacci retracement levels. So here's how they're created. So we'll just get like a quick understanding of how they look IRL. And so again, we get it from an area low. We can tell we troughed over here, and then we take our fib tool, we drag from the low point, and then we pull it up all the way into that area high. Okay, which is right over here. So we have a starting point over here. We have an ending point over here. So we can draw vertical trend lines at the starting point and another vertical trend line at the end point. And then we drag our fib tool, and then we basically draw trend lines from the opening point right where our vertical trend line is, and we draw the intersection with the retracement level. Obviously, I'm going to go into this again, but I just want to highlight that. So step number one, first, identify a significant high and a significant low on the chart. That's your first order of business. Next, the software will plot lined angles from the starting point of the trend line, right, using that 38.2, 50, 61.8 retracement levels. These angled lines provide insight into where support and resistance may form as the price moves through time. So think of them as dynamic support and resistance levels that shift with time rather than staying fixed. For example, in an uptrend, the price might retrace downwards, and the first line, that 38.2, could act as support. If it breaks through that, you could be looking for support at that 50% retracement. And this is kind of what we're talking about. Point number one, you've got that vertical trend line drawn at your area trough. You're going to draw another vertical line at your area crest, and then you're going to use your fib tool to drag from the low to the high. Let's just do it IRL right here, man. Wow.
Yeah. Let's do IRL. Excuse me.
Bro, I thought there was a police siren. What was going on up there, bro? Jeez.
Excuse me, man.
It's like
There's a monster gym session.
Adara level yawn. Bro.
Yeah.
Adara can get those yawns, trust me. Get it, Adara. All right, so let's just use this example. Joseph Tesla, we're in it right now. Let's take that fib fan line. Let's remove some of these. All right, let's do this IRL. So we're going to take our fib tool, and we're going to drag from the area low all the way up into that area high. But we haven't done our vertical trend lines yet. Those are really important. We got to draw one at the beginning of the trend, and then we're going to draw a next one at the end. That's important because if you don't know where to draw from, then it's not going to work out. So here we go. Now we're going to draw the intersection with the first one up here, that 38.2. So there's your area low. I'm going to draw, and then we're going to intersect with that first line right with that next horizontal line. We're going to do the same thing for that 61.8. There you go, just like that. And then you can kind of you guys get it. You'll be able to do it. So let's move on. All right, so how do these compare to Gann lines? Because we were talking about Gann lines the other day. So how do these fib fan lines differ from Gann lines? So both rely on angles, and both can help forecast, that potential support and resistance zone, but they come at it from two different schools of thought. The Fib fan lines are based on these well-known Fibonacci sequences, which is a mathematical series that occurs in nature, and it's often applied to the financial markets. The Gann lines, on the other hand, they focus primarily on specific geometric angles. We talked about that 45-degree angle, etc., rather than using these mathematical sequences. So while both provide visual tools for identifying key levels, the Fib fan lines are anchored to the Fib ratios, which many traders believe have a natural connection to market behavior, okay? So how do we practically apply these IRL? So we'll stop right here. I think we can kind of take a little bit of a break because the market's hot. So we'll actually talk about how to apply it when we kind of take a little bit of a break. What are you looking at, Joseph?
Are we taking a little bit of a break here? No, I was just looking for a specific ad that I do not have, so that's okay.
Yeah, I can read it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's load up. Just take over for a second, and I'll do the
of course, I got you at all times, my guy. But hey, one thing that we also need to get in, though, Sharif, too, is the rundown poll. So I'll take it from you.
Yeah, how about you send that to Ramram?
Okay, you cool with that?
Yeah,
sounds good to me, brother.
All right,
Ramram,
send it up. Do the
it's gonna get chaotic now.
Right, it's just.
Are we live? We're ready to go?
Yeah, we're good. We just got to switch it. All right, guys. This Christmas, give yourself the gift of smarter trading with trade ideas. Don't miss out on 25% off all subscriptions, including upgrades to premium. You'll be able to unlock trading tools and insights to take your strategy to the next level, but hurry. This special offer ends December 26th, and use the code MARYXMAS25, XMAS, and check out the big savings. So visit trade-ideas.com and today and make this holiday season your most profitable ever.
Hey, and the way the markets are moving, my guy, that's leading in that path. So, I mean, we're still slowly recovering. We're not really anywhere near where we were from that sell-off, but it's nice to see a little bit of recovery here in the market. So let's see how much we're down off of those highs. And I don't know if by Christmas holiday or by the New Year we're going to get back up there. But again, this is a positive sign. Love it when that works all the time. But anyways, we'll get that metric later, folks. But here we are. Nice engulfing candle here. As you can see where we opened up yesterday and then we closed, we even continued to gap down. But then we had PCE come in this morning. So those numbers were a little bit better than consensus. So that, again, may be a little influence on the current rally that we have, because I'm watching some of these mega cap tech stocks continue to move to the northeast. Amazon is making new highs a day. Google is as well. And Tesla's just hovering around those areas. I want to see up to what Apple is up to, and yeah, because I think, yeah, sure enough, 1 minute, we're at high a day as well, too, on that front. So as long as these mega caps are continuing to crawl higher, this market is going to go with it. There's no doubt about it. Apple being the closest one to its all-time highs, and it would, I mean, I think it was the least damaged out of everybody else, out of all these stocks. So again, continuing to crawl higher. NVDA, new high a day as well too. We have a nice consolidation phase on some of these mega cap tech stocks all the way up here. I'm not going to be chasing anything, but when you see this type of pattern, maybe we can continue to the top side here. So we have a definitive base around 133-ish, we'll call it, and then now we're just continuing to crawl higher. So a beautiful support system there, and then now going to push for some new high of days. Let's see if we can, yeah, so look, I'm going to look for some potential resistance up in this level here, the 134, exactly where we had that pivot on yesterday's session, and then we decided to sell off a little bit. So we're going to keep an eye on those levels. If we get any indecision prints on that front, then maybe we look for a short. But as of right now, I'm not going to try to short this market, especially because it is extremely strong. I need to see a definitive signal, and you guys know what type of signals I'm looking for. I want to see that correlation with volume and price. I want to see that outlying volume signature and then a potential pivot signal in that candle as well too. So we got to keep an eye out for those because of how extended we may be to the top side. So again, focusing on that, not in anything. You guys know I would like to be in some IBIT here, but again, I'm not chasing it all the way up here. I'm expecting somewhat of that volatility skew to step in. because you know Bitcoin can put in those 10K days at any given moment. So again, we had a low of about 91K, we'll call it 92 flat, and it's no stranger to putting in those $10,000 days. So if it decided that it really wanted to, we can go and touch that 102, 103 level without a doubt on that front. But again, we're gonna have to wait. I was telling Sharif off camera, I'm like, hey, if this closes how it is right now, I got something to do on that front. So yeah, we're gonna wait. We're gonna be extremely patient, and then with that patience, and something shows up, we're gonna pounce like a tiger. There's no doubt.
All right, Joseph, I made a mistake. I misread the code for trade ideas. So if you guys want to get that discount, the code for trade ideas, guys, is tradertv.live. There it is. Make sure to use the link in the description, or to scan that QR code on the bottom right of your screen there. Shout out to the good folks, guys, at Trade Ideas. And, you know, we're always using that kind of thing. So here's the deal. We're back. I didn't mention my trade about OPTX, so I had it off camera. So let's talk a little bit about it. OPTX is a big boy. It's up 75% on the day, was up higher at the highs at 385. So my initial dalliance with this one was a move back into the volume weighted average price right around that $2 and 2/3 right area. We cut the bottom wick there. Scalp, all the way up. Then we took the break of 3. We took it out at the 2/3 of a dollar, Joseph. All right. So we were done our trade there. Now here we go back into the volume weighted average price, doing a bit of a compression pattern, but we are putting more lower highs, or like the lower highs are more aggressive than the higher lows. So I put my stop through the break of the area, or the area wick, which I see to be below the $0.25. So we're in at 37s, it's dallying here at 40s. We've already scalped up in the 60s, but I'm looking for this one to hold VWAP. That's my move here. If VWAP is gonna get given up, that's the end of the trade. I'm not gonna fall in love with the stock. It has to make sense from a technical sense. So that's what we're doing right now. We got a couple more outs on this bad boy. Let's see what TSLL is up to. We're at 06s. What's this one doing? Okay, so this one now has found itself in a consolidation, and by extension of that, of course, Tesla is in a bit of a consolidation. It is putting in slightly higher lows over here. So if you look at the area where I got in at 33s on TSLL, we are incrementally kind of putting in even the wicks. The wicks are a little bit lower than their predecessors. Now we're coming up into that two-thirds of a dollar zone. Let's see if we can take out this area high decisively. Can we print 70s? 75s here on TSLA. So it looks like I got stopped out of there of OPTX. So that's fine. So we're going to keep an eye out on that one. And then we'll look to get back in if VWAP is reclaimed. But now back to TSLL. So let's see if we can take out that 75 penny area, or are we still going to be stuck in this range that we're doing over here? So if we are going to be stuck in that range, if that's a fact, if we drop down from 33 and 2/3 right back into that $0.25, that fifth of a dollar, well then, why am I not adding? Why am I not adding on the successive dips? The trend is up. We're up 2%. The trend that preceded the consolidation is an uptrend. Okay, so then I should be, if I'm to trade this correctly, and if I'm seeing it right, I should be adding at 33 and a fifth to 33 and a quarter, which is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna throw out that order right now. We're gonna sit at 25s, and we're gonna look to add if this comes back down into that $0.25. So that's what I'm looking at right now on TSLL, and obviously trading TSLA. But look, let's call a spade a spade. Tesla's the weakest of the bunch right now. That's the way it is. Apple's blowing through highs. Microsoft is about to take out 440. It just printed the high of the day. Meta just glanced at 600, up to 603/4. And then look what Amazon's doing. Amazon just printed the high day. Tesla's literally the only one that is not printing the high day right now. So that's a problem. Now, does that mean that it kind of does its own thing? Maybe when these 6 get a pullback, we'll see. It's putting in higher lows. You guys can see we're holding the 10 exponential quite respectfully here on the chart, but we are not making highs. So that's some food for thought, like for myself and for whoever's looking to trade this. So yeah, that's my situation right now. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm still waiting here, man. I don't want to be chasing anything up here because Google's making all-time high or high of day as well too, man. So again, I don't want to get too trigger happy and start chasing things up here when we could be in for a potential pullback. I need to wait for a specific signal, and in order to do that, we need price to come into our favor and start pull back a little bit here. So. We're gonna just sit, pack our patience, be extremely select. We're gonna be like a sniper today, and just wait for those prestige opportunities. But we're gonna send it off to Adara real quick.
Hear about some of the strongest names here to the upside and weakest names to the downside on the S&P 500, as you always do here around 11:20 a.m. Right now, we're going to really talk about some of these stronger catalyst-driven names that are leading the market today to the upside. Before we do that, make sure you take the time to vote in the poll for one of the top 4 tickers there to take a look at here during the rundown. Then at 1 p.m., we'll get another poll. So basically, you're going to have 2 options to vote. You can vote in both polls. The top 5 of those 8 tickers will be covered on the rundown at 2 p.m. with Sean and Neil. And Sharif will be standing right here where I am at the green screen, gesticulating wildly, if you will, about these tickers. So make sure to stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we're going to talk about these tickers making strong moves to the upside, led by Broadcom. We do have CEO Hock Tan speaking positively here, expecting a decades-long AI chip boom. So great look here for AVGO, up almost 4%. Eli Lilly here, definitely near its day lows, but still up about 5% here. This is an antipathy play with Novo Nordisk, which basically released data that was positive, but not as positive as was expected for its CagriSema drug trial. So it's basically their hybrid weight loss drug that found reduction of 22.7% for weight loss versus 25% expected. So LLY. Also, AbbVie and Amgen also trading nicely off of that number. Last but not least, these solar names really strong here. ENPH, Enphase, really emblematic of this strength. We did get this report from Reuters earlier today that data center power in the U.S. could account for as much as 12% of total U.S. electricity consumption, and that this demand could nearly triple by the time we reach 2028. So solar names seem to be rallying off this headline, guys. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Malinowski's making me chuckle in the chat.
Yeah, she just got sued, eh? They finally sued.
Bro.
Yeah.
You can't pull the rug like that and make a crap coin and expect just to like walk away scot-free. No.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna get started on that front, man, because it's absolutely bizarre just how someone just says something like that on TV and becomes famous. But anyways, not like a lioness sniper, more like the sniper from behind enemy gates or whatever it is, that Russian guy Vitaly or whatever his name is. Yeah, that's
behind enemy lines. Vitaly
Zaitsev, baby. That's exactly it. That's what we're going for on that front, guys. So again, let's see what's going on here. I mentioned this time and time again, and I'm going to stick to that same narrative. I'm not going to be chasing all the way up here. I think it'd be crazy for me. Oh, actually, I do. Why do I say things like that, Shree? Because I kind of like Tesla up here. We're going to take a little stab on it. Nothing crazy. Yeah, why not, man? When in Rome.
With you, brother.
When in Rome. But we're way up here, so I'm not expecting too much. If we break, let me pull up some TSLA here, because if we break this support system that we got going on, then I'm going to get out of that trade. There's no worried about that. But as of right now, with nice consolidation phase, up about 3% on TSLA, so about 1 and change, I think, on Tesla. So again, holding 32.93 really well. Let's see if we can go and break that high a day. If volume steps in, then we're going to be sitting on some pretty pennies on that front. But again, we're just going to pack our patience a little bit. Nothing crazy size. And let's see if Tesla can break high a day here, my guy.
I like it, guys. GameStop is breaking out. It's starting to knock on the door of 29 3/4 at the moment. I'm keeping GameStop on watch. Obviously, still below that $30. It's below yesterday's high, but it is green. It's up 2.5. $29 was the closing print. We bull flagged, this was a bull flag with higher highs and higher lows, and we're big boy breaking through that $29.50 right now, up into that $0.75. Liquidity's decent on the day. Where's my GME data at? Excuse me for a second. We got decent liquidity. That's not even that great. We only have about 3.5 million shares, 3.6 million shares. Okay, so that's not that great, but it's okay. It's looking good. So anyway, GameStop is on watch. I could possibly have a dip trade, maybe $29.50, $29.55 to kind of take advantage of that, what I see to be a consolidation zone, the top end of the consolidation zone. So that's my look. As you can see, Tesla is breaking out. It's still below that $444.40 area, but we're doing all right on this one right now. So I have my dip trade, which I think is no longer valid at 33 1/4. I may have to move that up into 33 mid 40s to even 33 50s just to account for these area lows over here. So we were bouncing off 33 40s there. Between like 11:15 to 11:22. So we'll see. I'd like to add to this position if I'm able to. Just has to be at the right area. We're still putting in higher lows and yeah, now higher highs off the 10 exponential. But yeah, everything else is strong. So I may have to weasel into another mag name here. Apple looks good. It's cleared 250 by some distance. Now we're coming into yesterday's high. So have a look at how high we got here at 11:30. On AAPL before we got that big boy red candle, and then we dropped all the way down to VWAP. We were around 21 3/4, 251, excuse me, and 3/4. And that's where we're at right now. We're moving into 80s. We just printed another high day on Apple, so we're looking for 252. But again, this is a zone. It's not a exact price level. Like we're at yesterday's highs on Apple, so let's be on the lookout for that possible area where it could retrace. That's it. It may keep going. So we'll keep an eye on that. And it's also around 252, the whole dollar level, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. Microsoft is also quite strong. Now, it may not be the biggest winner percentage-wise on the day, but have a look at that greenery right there. This is the 5-minute look on MSFT, and it's moving up nice. It's $10 off the low. It's printed highs, nary a red candle. The only red candle I can find, Joseph, that 1055, and it looks more like a candle of indecision. Softy's going.
MSFT.
Softy, the snowman.
Softy, the snowman. Yeah, he's very jolly today. There's no doubt about that, guys. Continuing to move really nice. This is beautiful stuff. What a recovery. This is the type of reaction you want to see from the market, especially after those two really tough sessions. So, I mean, hey, man, I would rather the market just get their selling done really quick and we rebound off of that than having a bunch of this nonsense and noise that you see kind of in bearish markets. But again, I like that solid recovery from the market thus far. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I would like to see us go and test the highs in the near future, but again, I don't know if we're going to get there by Christmas or the New Year, but I like GME where it's at, Sharif.
Yeah.
It did break that resistance level around 29.50, now trading up to 29.77s. Volume is slowly starting to step in on that front. But what is starting to pull back here is TSLL. Again, yeah, that's why I don't love buying the tops here. But again, we'll just hold on to this one. We have an out at 33. If that's the case, then so be it. But guys, let's take a look at what we got on the top scanners here so far on the session. APTO, that's more around your, I think your wheelhouse there, Sharif. Up there, 208 million shares traded on the session.
Yeah, the show is saying that.
Yeah, yes. So NVDA usually at the top of its class with 105 million, and then a bunch of other small caps getting involved in there. So I'm gonna have to switch up this scanner a little bit because we'll keep it at stocks over about 10, 15 bucks there. But again, I like where TSLA is sitting, has a lot of volume. Everything's really liquid on the session thus far. So again, I really like this price action. We are extremely extended off the volume weighted average price. So eventually I do think we get a pullback. If we can continue to climb higher, then so be it. I'm not going to cry or complain about it, that's for sure. So again, let's see what's going on. Extremely, like, look at how extended we are off of VWAP. So I will expect somewhat of a pullback here at some time throughout this session. Sharif, what do you got cooking up?
I'm keeping my eye on TSLL, sir, because I want to weasel back in. So here we go with the 50s. This is the area where I may want to weasel in. Look, so I'm going to look to get in on the low end of the 10 exponential, or sorry, right near the 10 exponential is what I'm trying to say. You know, look over here. So I'm keeping an eye on this right now. I want to see exactly where we're going to weasel in. Okay, so let me just have a look quickly at some of the mag right now. I can't believe we cleared 500 by already 175 points on the NQ. We were at 21,500 when you and I started got on the show, or very near the time we got on the show, and now we got to 21,675. And Tesla hasn't done all that much during the time. So here we go. So I'm leaving my order right there. Let's see what it does at the 10 exponential. So this is my look to get in. I've got it at the $0.25. We're gonna weasel in one here. Okay, good. So we just added to that position. So now we have a higher cost basis, obviously, at that $0.25 now. We'll see if this $0.25 area wants to get filled. We're still leaving my order at the $0.25 active. So that's what I'm looking at right there. The big smiled ones in the house. Big smile, Burdette. Sharif, Joe, hope you all have a great day. Was done early today. Get long stonks. Let me know when the LOD hits. Thanks. We love you, Big Smile. And hopefully we will see you before Christmas because I'd love to wish you a Merry Christmas, but I'll message you anyway. So, so that's the look there. What else are we looking at? So we're in a little bit more TSLL here. Amazon's breaking into highs again. Apple's breaking into highs. So is Softy. So is Google. So is the Future. Come on, Tesla. Well, we're off the lows, so it's not a bad look here, Joseph. So here's the deal right now. That's what I'm going to need to keep my eye out on Tesla because I'm not really happy with this consolidation crap that it's doing right now, and everything else is breaking into highs.
Like that, dude. That is okay. This is fantastic. This is a work of art. This is Microsoft. Microsoft. Yeah, it's Softy, the soft one. But I'll tell you, I don't think that this is sustainable. I don't want to be Papa Powell here and rain on the fantastic parade that we're having on this session. But this price action is not sustainable, I don't think. So we're going to see a pullback eventually. Like, we're just straight up. How come I didn't see this thing? This is absolutely beautiful. Wow. Yeah, feeling a little FOMO on that front. Let's zoom out or zoom in a little bit here, folks, and see what it was like at the 1 minute. Yeah, geez, that's my style of trading. Unfortunately, we missed out on that one and kind of the rally this morning. Didn't take any trades up until now. So again, let's see what's going on. I really like what this front's bringing, so I can't complain. I'm trying to buy any dip. We're in this TSLL. Not the best entry, buying the top of resistance, but that's okay. It's all part of the game that we play. But let's see if we pull back. We hold this level. We hold that 33.15. Then maybe we can reassess the situation and look to get involved. But I just think we're really extended right now. So enough of that talk. Let's see what you guys is taking no prisoners today. Yeah, exactly. It's squeezing today, man. It's absolutely beautiful. There's no doubt about that, folks. Continue to let me know what you guys are looking at in the chat. Let's take a look at Walmart. I know Paul in the chat's always talking about Walmart. Yeah, and it's moving extremely beautiful as well, too. A nice bottoming signal on Walmart right here. About 15 minutes after that opening drive, then you get the indecision. And sure enough, you punch through VWAP with momentum and then continue to the northeast. So fantastic price action. What an absolute monstrous day so far, man. This is crazy, the way that we're climbing up higher and higher. And SPY making new highs a day. Like Q's making new highs of day. NVDA going in for a new high a day as well too. Like, oh my days, this is this is crazy. For all my Love Island UK fans out there. Oh my days.
That is a British expression. I was gonna say when I was in England, that's what they would all say.
Oh my days, oh my days, mate. Yeah. So I'm gutted. I love it.
Yeah, I'm gutted.
Yes. I'm gutted, and that's where I got buzzing from, because they're like, I'm buzzing. Is that what it is? Yeah. So it's like, I'm buzzing. Big Love Island fan. The UK one, that is. So yeah, we steal their slang. My guy ADL in the chat.
I love it. Yeah. OG.
Yeah,
all right.
So what do you got going on, brother?
We're in a new position, Joseph. We weaseled into QUBT. Now I'm going to build my position here as this one continues to respect the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. I'm going to set up a dip trade over here right where, oh, wow, that zigged and zagged. Okay, I was going to set up a dip trade at 19. That got away from 19 really quick. Okay, so I may not get that. We'll have to wait and see. I've thrown it out there in any event. Tisha, I see you, girl. Sharif, #1 small cap runner today. MYSZ today. Thoughts? Say less. We're going to load it up on the side. GameStop's breaking out too, guys, by the way. GameStop's going to take 30 awfully soon. All right, let's put MYSZ. Oof. All right, that's aggressive. Let's flip to the 1. We're whiffling and waffling, Tisha. This is the one. Look at this. Okay, it's decent in the sense that it's putting in higher lows, but now we find ourselves putting in lower highs for a while. We're whiffling and waffling here with the volume weighted average price. I need a change in trend. Now, we're kind of possibly rounded bottoming over here. I need confirmation by taking out this consistent pattern. Now, you kind of have. I want to maybe a print above 6.5. Let me throw on the ticker. I'm sorry, guys. Forgot about that. MYSZ. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'll keep this on watch, Tisha. I'm going to throw it an alert. So if this takes out 6.5, I'm going to put it below 6.5 just so that I can have advanced notice of that. So yeah, I'll keep it on watch. Thank you for pointing that out, and I appreciate the super chat, no doubt about that. So we're still in QUBT here, added at 19.25. Well, I got in at 19.25, 19.25, 19 and a fifth. I've got a dip trade set up to defend 19. It got away from 19 too quickly on me, so I wasn't able to weasel in some there. Back to TSLL. Look, still, we got the dip trade at 40, so that 40 penny area on TSLL still holding, right? Look at that. Initially, we were doing the 20 dance where we were bouncing off 33 20s. Now it looks like we're doing the 40 dance where we're bouncing off 33 40s. We still need that big boy break through the area crest. Where's that area crest at, Joseph?
Where?
It's at that 33 double eights. We need to take out that 88s, and that's exactly where I've set up for a beak wetter. The next beak wetter is going to be for above that 34 break and take if it shows up. So that's the situation right now. Let's go back to QUBT because it's coming back into 19. We got the ad. Okay, so now area out is below the 18.75. We're still holding the 10 exponential on the 5 here on QUBT. So I'm going to continue to base my out based on this area trough. Okay, I'm not going to just guess where to throw stops. I need price action, support, or resistance. So that's where I'm looking. We got the ad. Now let's see if this one wants to weasel back up, Joseph.
Hey, yo, the Fonz.
Hey.
Yeah, hey. Let's see, guys. Guess what I'm in? Yeah, I bet you could guess that because it is very simple. So let's see. We're in this IBIT. I like the way the volume weighted average price is trending with this underlying asset here. So let's see if we can continue on that path. I would love to see this thing go back to like 58 or anything like that. It'd be sunny days on that front. So again, sunny days. Yeah, big Grease fan. I like Grease there. But yeah, guys. Wow, Microsoft still climbing higher. SPY still climbing higher. I just sound like a broken record at this point. Everything is absolutely buzzing. There's no doubt about that. It's a good day in the market. You can't complain on that front whatsoever. We are slowly starting to recover there, folks. So let's see what's going on. Are you going to engulf yesterday's daily candle? Yeah, let's take a look there, Adrian. I like that idea. I think we are going to, as of now, because look at the session we put in this far, right? So yeah, it's already engulfed there, my guys. So there we go. Nice engulfing candle there. Not the best turnaround signal, and I don't know how genuine this volume print is. It must be off. I think it is because maybe we'll wait till it closes and then get that actual genuine print. But as of right now, yeah, we're engulfing that pattern right there. Could be a nice bullish sign. And on this front, if we do decide that we want to sit on top of this range, then I do think we can go and test these highs, and probably by early next year. So we'll be looking forward to that. There's no doubt about that. Looking to buy dips, and I think a lot of people on Wall Street are just looking to buy dips as well too. Tom Lee said, yeah, you buy just any dip essentially in this market and don't even think about fighting it because we just continue to climb higher. The fundamentals are backing these stocks right now, so continue to monitor those and look to get involved. We are squeezing on SPY here, so I don't know if this is going to be any form of toppy price action, but we're starting to really pick up a little bit of steam here. As you can see, these prints are getting significantly larger, so we're going to continue to monitor that. I've never seen a session where we just go completely up like this for the whole day, so I am going to see, I'm going to sit and wait here for a potential pullback, but as of right now, there's no need to fight the trend. There's nothing signaling us here, Sharif, that this trend is going to turn around at any given moment as of right now, so don't fight that. Don't look to short any of these strong companies, especially when you get into the mega caps like Microsoft, Apple, NVDA. Those are not the folks that you want to be shorting today as of right now. I'm not saying the shorts can't step in, but that's just something I was taught when I was younger and from people that taught me a lot about trading is just do not fight those strong stocks that are trending, and you'll just be pulling your hair out and losing it. Yeah, exactly, Jameson. Essentially a gamma squeeze going on right now. So it's looking really, really nice on the equities front, Sharif.
Sorry, just adding
Yeah.
here. All right, Tisha, I'm with you. I'm with you on this MYSZ. Where are we long? 12s. Wet my beak at 25s. Setting up at 33s. I'd like to put a dip trade for what I perceive to be the top end of the bull flag. We're going to wait at 588. Oh, no, I took it out by accident. No. That wasn't the move. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see if we can get back in here. All right, so here we go. It's coming right back in, which is good. It's exactly what I want. Here we go. Let's see this. MYSZ. Let me get it around 6 here, Joseph. We're going to go like this. Where are we at? 595. Okay, so this might have been like yeah, here we go. For that 580 area. Here we go. Let's throw in some right here. Okay, now I'm going to stop out below the break of the below the break of the quarter dollar. Are we going to get out there? Let's see if this area holds. If it holds at $0.75, no, we got stopped out there. Sucks. Okay, we'll get back and we'll talk about TSLA when we get back from Madeira.
We're going to take a look here at some of these earnings names, day one earnings names from yesterday. Make sure you vote as well in the poll for whatever ticker you want to see covered on the rundown at 2 p.m. You'll have another chance to vote for 4 different tickers at 1 p.m. We talked a lot about Nike. We talked a lot about FedEx. So I want to talk about some of these earnings plays that we haven't given as much attention today, starting with BlackBerry, which is at day's highs here, up almost 21%. They did miss on sales here, $143 million versus $150.76 million expected. But they did beat on adjusted earnings per share, reporting a profit of 2 cents versus a loss of 1 cent expected. However, their guidance was pretty mixed here for 2025. Total revenue here, they're guiding between 517 and 526. That is well below the estimates of 603.12 million. Their non-GAAP earnings per share here they're expecting a loss of 2 cents per share, so that's in line here with the expectations. So pretty mixed report there for BB, but clearly investors enjoying this move. Then we have here CCL, this Carnival Cruise Lines. They always report earnings a little bit later, so that report came in at 9:15 this morning. They had their conference call as well at 10. Nothing huge came out of that conference call. It's worth noting here they did beat here for adjusted earnings per share and for sales. So the sales was really tight here. 5.938 billion versus 5.932 billion expected. So they beat on sales by a hair. It is worth noting here the quarterly sales actually up here 10% year over year. Operating income up 46% year over year. Adjusted EBITDA up 28.9% year over year. So lots of year over year changes to the upside for CCL. Make sure to like and subscribe. Back to the Bash Brothers.
Appreciate you, Adara. All right, Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm actually just looking at the PMP here, man, the Playmaker poll.
Oh.
Yeah, bang, we got that in no, we're going to throw it up in we're going to throw the poll up in 18 minutes, and then we're going to get in. But guys, I just want to kind of emphasize on something here. So we're essentially a 500 hockey club here, all right? Going to hockey terms. We're about 50% win rate as of right now. But you can see the equity curve when we have a stop loss of $100, but then a risk to a reward of $200. We've only hit that price target once, and we've never been stopped out either. So just keep that in mind. Keeping those RVR skews are extremely important, all right? So that allows us to be correct 50% of the time because we're looking for double the amount of profit than what we're essentially losing. And sure enough, when you hit that, we were like really stagnant for a while here, folks. Like we were just like zigging and zagging up, down, up, down. But then as soon as you hit that one really good price target, that 2-to-1 ratio that we hit, then sure enough, then you get that exponential growth within that equity curve. And that's kind of the aim of this kind of this experiment that we're doing, right? And just to see from an algorithmic standpoint, is this strategy potentially profitable? And sure enough, it's showing up that it is. But guys, let's talk a little bit about TSLA. As we punch through the high a day on Tesla, slowly coming in back a bit here, but I'm going to take a little bit off just at this high a day because I don't know if we're going to reject it and then come back into this range. But if we don't and continue to the top side, then we got the majority of the position still on. So, but I just want to emphasize on one thing because this trade is far from perfect. Look where I'm in at, okay? I'm in at the top of the range, kind of anticipating a breakout. If I was literally patient for another 5 or 10 minutes, I could have had a significantly better risk to reward ratio on that front. buying the support system instead of buying into resistance. So I should have waited and got in at support and not anticipated the breakout on kind of lower volume. So again, not the absolute perfect trade, even though it is kind of working out. Yay, it's working. But again, there's ways that you can improve all the time, right? You don't want to stay stagnant. You always want to just find the little bits that you can find within your system in order for you to become slightly more profitable and better at what you do, right? So again, IBIT kind of pulling back in, not expecting too much from that thing, but Meta is absolutely roaring to the top side, up to about $600 and change right now, making new highs of days as well too, folks. Let's zoom out and see what it looks like from a daily perspective. Okay, so a little bit lagger, but you can see that we're holding these key support levels on Meta. So you can see that level around 586.07 held to a T. Really nice there on that front. So these mega caps are really participating today, and sure enough, they're dragging the market along up with them. So that's it, man. It's beautiful stuff there, and that's what you need to see, I think.
Yes, sir. So a couple of updates. The situation is now we're still holding on to TSL. Oh, my bad. We're still holding on to TSLL. Wet the beak there through the break of 88s. But as Joseph said, with his analysis, we're just going to let this one ride. Where I'm looking for that break and take of the high of the day. We just printed the high of the day, 445.33. Before that, it was 444.40. So we're continuing to respect the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart here on TSLA. It's been less directional than a lot of its counterparts, with many more red candles you can see on the 5 than, for example, an Apple or Microsoft or a Google. Or an Amazon for that matter, more akin to Meta and maybe a little bit of NVIDIA as well, where they're not as directional. So just gonna pack my patience with that. I don't have any beak wetters on that because I have no idea where the top is gonna be on the day, because we keep printing up higher and higher and higher. When I sat down to trade, we were at 21,500. Now we're at 21,785. Looks like we're gonna take 21.8. So I got no idea where the top is. So we're gonna let this one chill, and we'll look to assess it as the market continues. We'll react to market conditions. Now, I got stopped out of 2 different stocks, 2 different small cap gappers. Let's talk about those. MYSZ, we were able to eke out some profits over here, and again did it over here, but got stopped out for the rest. I'm gonna have to let this one go because it is below the volume weighted average price now on a closing basis. So if it wants to take that 650, the original area that I earmarked right around here to take out that area crest that we had put in earlier in the trading day, I believe that was at around 830. That was actually the pre-market level. We'll get back in. I've still got my alert out on that one, and we'll see what comes from that. The other one that I'm involved, or that I got stopped out of, is QUBT. So this is a bit of a tough one right now. Let's go to that one. So this one, I was basing my trades off entries on the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. It had been awfully respectful of it as it moved up. Looks like the lower end of the ranges were holding up at the 10. That since changed. Looks like we may be putting in a hammer candle now on QUBT off the 20 exponential, looking to defend that 18. If that's the case, if I start seeing higher highs and higher lows subsequent to this candle closing here at 11:45, I'll assess my position then about whether to weasel back in or not. So I'm going to keep my eye on QUBT. If it wants to hold off the 20 off a deeper retracement, makes sense. It's done that in the past where, that more illiquid time of the day will get deeper retracement, so they'll come into the 20 as opposed to the 10. Now, I've weaseled into another trade over here, OPTX. We've been trading this one ad nauseum on the day, so we'll look to weasel back in. Now, it looked like it held 3 on the move back down. It put a doji candle at 3. The subsequent 5-minute candle made a new high. But this candle now, the one that we're currently in on the 5, it's still technically a higher low than the area doji, but it's breaching 3. So my out is below this area right here. So if we make lower lows, I'm done, right? I saw what I wanted to see. I saw the hold of 3 with a doji candle, and then the subsequent candle made a new high and a higher low. But if that doesn't end up being the case, we're going to cut it. So OPTX on watch. TSLL on watch, and I'll keep my eye on MYSZ. If it wants to take out that 6.5, we'll take it any day. Natoya Thompson, small cap, TNXP. Oh, say less. We've been talking about TNXP for a hot minute now. Let's throw that up. She's got some data there. Small cap, 128 million volume. I don't know why this one always takes a hot minute to load. on the chart, but we'll give that one a second. I'm keeping my eye on QUBT over here as it is putting in a hammer candle, looking to take 19. So this might be an entry point for me. I'm going to keep my eye on watch on for QUBT. Yeah, I like TNXP. It's not as directional as some of the other small cap gappers today. We'll throw that on TNXP. It's got, you know, a nice little up channel with higher lows and higher highs. You know, you're going to have to get in near the lower end of the range on TNXP. We'll throw that on the side chart. Maybe you replace APTO, which is now well below VWAP. So we'll throw on that bad boy. We'll keep an eye on TNXP. Joseph, what do you got?
Yes, sir. I'm glad that I punched out of this IBIT trade. There's no doubt about that. That volume is starting to step in to the south side there. So yeah. So south side on that front. But yeah, guys, I'm not. You know what? I don't know how I feel about this right now. To be honest with you, quite frankly. So we'll wait. Let's see if we can hold this 54.5 level, and then maybe we can continue to put in that second leg on the session. I was kind of anticipating that we were slightly toppy. So again, this pullback is totally justifiable. There's no doubt about that. So we'll continue to monitor those things. I'm going to look at SoundHound because it is up there on the volume aspect. Again, yeah, you could honestly almost play pin the tail on the stock market and find a winning stock today. There's no doubt about that. You could blindfold me, spin me around multiple times, and I can point at a ticker, and the chances of it being green, Shreve, are extremely high because we don't have a red sector on the day. So really nice Friday leading into the holidays. I'm happy for everybody who's holding in their long-term accounts, who is slowly recovering off of those previous day losses. So that's a good look for everybody on that front. Continue to send me what you guys are looking at in the chat, and we'll go over them. You guys know what's coming in at noon. Yeah, Forex AU. It's true though, man. It's like everything is green. Literally every ticker that you guys shout out to me is absolutely green. So I looked at JPM, PLTR. Every sector is trading extremely well. So yeah, absolutely. But guys, we have an ad read right now.
Joseph, Vinfast is on fire. For the third consecutive months, it's secured the title of Vietnam's #1 car brand, dominating the market with record-breaking sales. In November 2024, Vinfast delivered an impressive 16,000 electric vehicles, setting a new all-time monthly high. But the story doesn't stop there. GSM, Vinfast strategic partner and Vietnam's leading green taxi operator, has officially expanded into Indonesia. With a fleet of Vinfast EVs, GSM is delivering rides that are emission-free, noise-free, and fuel odor-free, ensuring comfort and eco-friendliness for passengers. So together, Vinfast and GSM are building a green mobility ecosystem, replicating their success in Vietnam, driving sustainability forward in Indonesia. Vinfast is shaping the future of transportation, so stay tuned for more exciting developments. I've always been a fan of the VF9. It is definitely a looker. They got the VF6 on there, and you gotta love that blue. I mean, come on now.
I like a blue.
But,
yeah, I'm a blue. Is that your favorite color?
Oh God,
Blue?
yeah,
Same,
far and away.
Same.
Yeah, so shout out there to Vinfast. Okay, so we got an ad here on TSLL because, well, it dipped quite aggressively. I don't know if I want this ad anymore. That was a mistake having that ad there, I think, because we had left that ad from earlier. Now, let's see what Tesla wants to do here. It could really drop more aggressively, I think, to about 432.5, possibly, maybe 435 for TSLA. We're at the 20 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart on TSLA, but we're bleeding quite aggressively. The future is coming back down into about 21,700. Let's watch to see if this point over here on the future holds 21,700. So we're at that 100-point level, sometimes areas of support and resistance. So we'll look to see exactly what the situation is there. I'm going to get in. So we're going to give this one to below 33. So we're going to sit down possibly right here. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to throw that on there. So where are we long here? We're along 16s. All right, we're in the 20s. Let's see if this one wants to bounce off that level. What else we got over here? Yeah, no, that's TSLA. Yes, we're in OPTX, still holding this one at 302. Looking for an area defend at 85. If this one keeps bleeding, we will be done with that, Joseph.
Yep. I don't know what's going on in the chat, Drop Trades. I'm actually, like, I don't know what you're talking about. I appreciate the super chat that you put in there, I think. Yeah, okay, Joe, put the blindfold on. What does that mean?
I don't know. You're going to have to ask the kid.
Real bad, man. But yeah, you know what? Someone said, mention this in the chat. We're going to ask the 8-ball. Okay, 8-ball. So how many trading sessions do we have left in the year, Sharif? Let's count up
I don't
here.
know.
We got it. So really, yeah, Christmas is the only really holiday, right? Other than New Year.
Half day on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Is it half day Christmas Eve?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay, all right. Then so then we got about, we'll call it 3.5 sessions left, all right? Will the market reach all-time highs before the new year? Let's see what we got here.
Let's see.
All right. That's it, folks. We'll leave the anticipation for that.
You're going to leave us hanging?
Yeah, I'm going to leave you guys hanging.
You're going to leave us hanging?
I'm going to leave you guys hanging, man. Doing you guys dirty.
This guy's cold.
It says ask again later. So it hasn't made its mind up quite yet. So maybe we'll ask it again later. So yeah, exactly, folks. PLTR, yes, no. Don't do it, Joe. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have said any. I should have just kept it to myself. Shouldn't I have? That would have been amazing. There's no doubt about that. But guys, yeah, let's take a look at PLTR and see. Yeah, it's just pulling back with the rest of the market here. And one thing that I like to note here is that this pullback isn't very deep nor aggressive on the SPY. So that's really positive on that front. We'll continue to watch this here to see if we can get involved. Probably use the TQQ vehicle in order to get it, in order to participate in the overall market. But this pullback, nice and shallow. That selling volume slightly dwindling, picking up a bit. But maybe we pull back, test some of these key levels. 588 would be totally healthy, but I mean that's like $5 away. So we're putting in a really good session here thus far, Sharif. So I'm having fun with that. I'm going to take a look. Okay. I'm going to send it to you, and we're going to take a look at the VIX here.
Absolutely. All right. So we're back into TSLL. We bought at 33. Let's see what we do here. Does the market, and by extension of that, Tesla, bounce off 21,700? We had a bit of an aggressive drop. It wasn't aggressive. That's not even fair. We had a 2-candle pullback on the 5-minute chart from 21,785 down, I believe, into, and we did test that 100-point level. We're back at 4.7s, looking to test 50. So we'll see if this is a more of a just, you know, less aggressive pullback, or whether we dip into something more substantial, maybe a 21.6 retracement or something along those lines. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what the situation is. We're in, though, at the moment. Bang, nice. Okay, here we go. So we bought the lows here on OPTX and looking for this one to take out 310s. Now I'm setting up at 315s. However, we're not out of the woods. This area over here, still technically a lower high than this area over here. Here we go. We're about to test that high. Let's see if we can take out 10s here on OPTX. I bought 3s because I saw the doge and I saw the hold up near that level. Now this is breaching my rules. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm not supposed to buy these small cap gappers south of VWAP. And when I've done so in the past, it's punched me in the face. I've been made to pay. So whether or not we hold up here, we'll see. Statistics tell me that I'll likely end up red on this trade because that's why I have my rules, right? So we'll see if this one wants to reclaim 3. I'm not going to wet my beak here. I'm going to wait for my 15s to come in. Here comes 10s. Let's see, can we take out 10s? We're showing 13s now. Okay, are we curling into 15s? Here's my auctioneer voice. Now let's go, bro. So we did bit a bit. Here we got a topping tail through 310, but that ain't gonna cut it. We need more sustained movement here on OPTX. Let's pack our patience. I'm in where I want to be. Let's see if this one curls up. Let's go back to Tesla now. So Tesla holding at around, over here, 436, generally 437. It looks like Tesla possibly here, double bottom at 437. We still have 2 more minutes until this current 5-minute candle closes, but the future is off 21.7. And it's curling back up possibly into the high of the day. We're about 20 points removed from said high of day. If you have a look at the mag, they're all doing a 2 or 3 candle pullback and now some of them curling back into highs. Apple's at highs, Meta's at highs, Amazon's at highs. Can I keep going?
Keep going.
That's it. Those are the only ones.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll keep an eye on these bad boys. But it looks like we got a decent curl pullback. Again, I feel stupid trading Tesla when it's clearly the weakest of the 7. Bruh.
Yeah, well, I was in it with you too, so.
I know. I don't know why I'm insisting on it. I don't know, because I just I started with it. It's so stupid. Anyway, maybe it gives me a more opportunity to get a bigger pop back up. Natoya Thompson, don't buy at VWAP is the rule. No. Sorry, Natoya, I misexplained that. Let me explain what I mean on OPTX. So I had 2 rules generally with my small cap gapper stocks. Kind of by extension, almost 3, but you'll understand what I mean in a second. Number 1, they gotta have a definable pre-market high, meaning that they have traded in the pre-market, okay? And then after the bell, after 9:30, we have to be trading above that pre-market high. And we also have to be above VWAP. If I see 3 of those conditions, I typically get in and, come what may. So, yeah. So I'm just going to look over here. So OPTX did curl up. We wet our beak, but it's still below VWAP. I'm still concerned about this. But we're going to send it to Adara, and then my man Neil is going to do his lesson of the day.
Dang.
We have the S&P 500 getting its first couple red candles in a while here on that 15-minute chart, but still, what a red to green story here for the SPY, up about 1 1/3%. Same with the Qs here, up almost 2% today, so great recovery here for these markets. There's a couple different reasons for that on a larger scale basis. First, at 8:30 a.m., we got lower than expected PCE prints across the board. So PCE for month over month and year over year, as well as core PCE month over month, year over year, all coming in 0.1% below expectations. At 10 a.m., we got another great number here, lower than expected University of Michigan 5-year and 1-year inflation expectations, both down 0.1% compared to the estimate. So good look for those as well. And then around 10 a.m. here, around 10:30, we had comments from Feds Goolsbee that were pretty dovish, saying that while Feds Goolsbee, along with a lot of the other Feds, is expecting, quote, a more shallow approach to rate cuts this year, especially as we await to see what the incoming Trump administration is going to do here for inflation and tariffs, says that he still thinks there's going to be judicious rate cuts in the future, especially in the next 12 to 18 months. There can be a decrease there in rates. So that dovishness in combination with some of these positive economic data prints coming in has been a great look for the markets. Novo Nordisk still bouncing here, now reclaiming 85s. Initially down here 20%, now down about 18% here after releasing kind of mixed or not as strong as expected data for its CagriSema hybrid weight loss drug here. And then we have Palantir up about 5.5%. Earlier this morning, this was down in the day. Cathie Wood's ARK Invest selling about $2.5 million worth of the company's shares. But Palantir and MSTR are both really strong here, ahead of their inclusions into the NASDAQ 100. That is going to take place today, so keep an eye out at 4 p.m. Things get pretty volatile and pretty wild. In the meantime, we're going to send you off to Neil, who's going to deliver his lesson of the day. Stay tuned and make sure you check this out. Take it away, Neil.
Thank you very much, Derek. It's a runaway market, and it's a runaway move on some additions to the NASDAQ 100, quite frankly. So the lesson of the day is going to be centered around, in a general sense, this runaway market that we have today, the runaway up move that we had and the sentiment going into it, which was overly bearish, right? Like it was a move down for the last couple of days. We were looking weak when we sat down, and then we had essentially just one PCE number turn things timing-wise around, and then you get a trend up. A few names which were, I think, probably on most people's, yeah, you still liked it to the long side, but maybe you didn't get in, like myself, like an Apple or like a Palantir maybe. There were chances where, hey, you didn't want to chase anything, but sometimes you can find your way into a quote-unquote chase by looking at a zone of interest. Like a price area in which you can transact where you don't have to be buying it, giving it to the low of the day, but you're buying it at a key price, which might not look appealing when you anchor yourself to where it was in the morning, but looks appealing in the shorter term. So the most extreme example I'll start with, because that's Palantir, and actually in some ways Apple might be the most extreme example, and you'll see why in a second. But Palantir, we all know it's being added to the index. That 71 level, which has been an obvious support for the last week and a half, unless you were buying this at 7 o'clock, okay, you're not going to get that level. And the problem with being anchored to support like this, if you're bearish, is if you're bearish and it is red underneath the close price, already curled off of that high, going after the number and pulled back, you're probably thinking, hey, the long is off of 71. This is short where it's red. If you're looking bearish, well, now I'm not trading it. Then you miss the 71, let's just say, and it starts breaking out. Well, how can you join it? If you're like, oh, but I'm wrong at 71, how are you taking a 75? How are you taking a high of the day break? Well, one of the things you can consider is looking at the next available opportunity. On a 15-minute chart, this is all green on Palantir. Now, when it gets to the prior day high, something interesting happens. Well, you get your first pullback. Now, if you're overly bearish, and don't get me wrong, I like mean reversions, and I've taken a bunch of them here today. You can be looking for the mean reversion off that high. But if you're a straight up, this is a bull reversal move, the way you can look at this prior high is, well, that's my chance to get in. So you play off the high, it then holds that higher low, there's a little bit of a compression, and then you can have a bit of a breakout candle there on PLTR. Now, that's one way that you can look at things. The other way that I think you should always consider is if you happen to be going in the other direction, make sure if you're trading against the grain, get out when that zone of yours is violated. So never long in Tesla today, but there's a couple of key price areas that we liked. It goes into the prior low. It actually could have worked for a scalp trade, but you wait till it makes the next move. There's your next move going into another prior low. It consolidates. It gives you at least a shot where it's not going parabolic and you're only involved in the smaller end of the move. Because the idea is, when you're trading, to try to get here to here, right? And then when it's at that level, try to have something relatively tight so that you can go from one stop into the next. The trickier part becomes when something looks like this, like Apple, all green. Not a single, until just now on the 15-minute chart, there wasn't even a red candle on Apple. This is the trickiest one to get into. And what it looks like on the 3-minute is one of the more linear moves you will ever see. However, there was one little consolidation. It was right here off of 250. Right in the middle of the day, linear move up, but there was one sideways at about 250. So we go back. What does it look like on that higher time frame? Well, this is the prior close. It's your one opportunity to structure a trade with a little bit of a tighter stop, good risk to reward, where you can go from one zone to the next zone. And just like yesterday, right? Or maybe even almost every day, one of the things you want to do in the market is right, wrong, or indifferent. Look at what it told you in the day and what you could do differently. And when I looked at Apple, I never found a long entry into Apple. I was like, I like the long in Apple, but I didn't have an entry that actually made any sense. Well, now I can look back and say to myself, okay, well, what did I learn? There was a good consolidation. There was never a, let's do a traditional pullback into a prior level. You didn't get that A+ sort of easy, obvious, let's dip into prior high on a higher time frame and give us a nice real red candle that we can work off of. No. All you had to do was see this rejection around 250, nice consolidative candle there, and your chance to join was not on a red. It was on strength right back through 250 once it showed you the tight range. And that's the best you can do sometimes, because that gave you, once this candle opened at 250, maybe you're long here in the 10s and 20s, and that gives you about 50 cents worth of risk, and the top of that zone is $2 higher. It gives you a nice range to trade off of. So sometimes you're not going to be able to get the price that you're anchored to. Once the bottom is gone, you're like, well, I don't want to chase it. It's closer to resistance than it is to support. One thing you can do is look at that zone-to-zone move, find yourself some kind of a consolidation in it, and then try to take that trade that's available to you. It will never really set up the way you want, but you can look forward to a new potential setup on trend. Because if an uptrend only has green on the time frame you're looking at, you can end up missing the entire move, like I know I did today on Apple and Palantir. Both of them rocket, lots of rocket ships today, but those two extreme ones, if you had a bias long, probably should have had a long. But you can always learn something from the market. That's the best part about it. And that's why we have always a lesson of the day. As always, stick to your plan, everybody, and good luck trading into the close. Don't forget, we have all those index actions coming at the end. Some of these should be absolutely wild. Palantir already looking crazy.
There he is, the knowledge dropper, Neil Roberts, every day around that noon hour. Thank you very much, Neil. Neil's lesson of the day on Neilage. All right, so here's the situation. We're in a few trades. Just wet the beak right now on TSLA as it finally put in a higher low, and now it just took out some at 40s. We're waiting at 55s. Now let's see if we can get a little bit there. Here comes 50s. Can we get 55s? All right, so we're going to pack our patience on that one. Also involved in OPTX, still wet the beak there at 3, but that ain't the one that I want to talk about now. I'm in MYSZ off the higher low curl in and above VWAP, still south of 6. Took some out. Where are my long 74s? We took some out mid 90s. Waiting on the north side of 6 now. This one is putting in higher lows. So if you're going to get into this one like it's just dipped again, you're going to have to buy the dips on this one. And the reason it keeps me confident is because it's progressively putting in higher lows, especially if you're using that 475 as a base. That 475 has been in play today, so we'll keep an eye out on that one. There is TSLA through the $0.50. So we take our beak wetter there. We're going to hold, so we're long at 33s. Here comes 60 pennies. I'm going to look to hold in the high of the day because everything, Joseph, except Tesla, is putting in HODD. What's the all-time highs on the dead one, Apple?
Yeah, bro, it's the one that retraced the least amount, so it's like really close.
Oh, okay, so we're closing in on all-time highs on Apple yet again. Wow, that's a hell of a double bottom there. This is the half an hour on Apple. Look at that 246.5 bump and hold. And then there you go. You have the neckline break at 251.5. Apple's all-time high is 254.25. We're at 253.89. It's been a rocket ship of a day. Let's see if we're able to print all-time highs today on the dead one, Apple. Obviously, it's kind of an oxymoron to call it that, but we'll keep an eye out on that one. What else we got over here? It is time to add to this bad boy over here. So we're going to weasel in, and it's not giving me the fill. There we get the fill. Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, I added on iBit. I waited for that pullback, but I do think that we're going to slowly start to crawl lower. I don't have too much conviction within this setup, just the way that it's reacting, and the overall market is zooming. And this thing's only up about 0.5% on the session. Let's see what the Qs are up. I mean, we're not overly green on the day because we did gap down in the morning, so we're about 2%. Totally healthy. That's a good look on that front. But iBit only up 0.5%. Kind of dampering on the parade a little bit, but again, still in a nice, positively strong uptrend. So we'll continue to go with the flow on that one. And I'm going to be totally frank with you guys. I switched up on the team here today, and I went short.
Oh, wow.
I went short, man. I voted for short. Bro. Yeah, blasphemous. But we're although it is barbarism. There's no doubt about that. there's no doubt about that. But again, I voted short. You guys are probably going to be right because it's an absolute walloping over here. It's 75% to the long side. I'm on Kyle Burdett's team today to the short side. So KB, holler at me. Let's see if we can persuade. I shouldn't say that, but let's see if we're going to be right today, and then maybe we can point the finger and laugh at everybody else. But I don't think that's going to be the case because as of right now, the chat always seems to be right, considering, well, not always, 50% of the time, but what really matters is that we're more profitable when we are right, so that's really positive. Guys, let me know if, since we started the Playmaker poll, yeah, I know, Jameson, I know, I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean to. Guys, let me know, since we started the Playmaker poll, let me know if you guys started to track your own data kind of in the same method. And if you have, let's see how large of a sample set you've collected and if it's starting to work for you, because now you can kind of refine your system on that front. So drop trades. Come on, man. Don't be like that. Yeah. BNP Mega. sending some harsh words for your boy there. Hey, it's okay. We can survive through that. There's no doubt about that. I won't be going home anytime soon, my friend. There's BC following TQ step by step. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's highly correlated to LBM. So good to see you back in the chat there, LBM. But IBIT is starting to work, Sharif, and I added nicely on that one. So we're liking this. Let's see if we can continue. Do I think PLTR can break 80 today? Let's take a look. I think there's a good chance. It's being added to the NAS, so I think there's a really good chance that this thing can break 80. Let's zoom out here, folks, and see what's going on. Yeah, I got everybody riled up here now already.
Hey.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, I think at some point we do go and test 80. It might even go all-time highs on PLTR there, Sharif.
Yes, sir. Just putting in my stop over here. All right, good to go. Let's keep an eye out on this one. Yeah, TSLA is still going. So we took out some at 55, still kind of consolidating right now, looking for that move a little bit higher. We've been ranging between 33.50, 33.60, thereabouts. So I'm keeping my eye on that one. I'm dip trading here on MYSZ. This is holding that 50 exponential. It's putting an area low at about 5 1/3, 5 1/4. We're at the money on this by 20 pennies though, so let's call a spade a spade. Let's see if this one wants to curl back up and make that higher low. It's been making progressively higher lows. Was able to de-risk a little bit, obviously, on that pop, but still well out of the money. Let's see if this one pops up off, 5 1/3, 5 1/4. It's putting in bottoming tail candles, albeit on the one, so let's not put too much stock into that. I'm keeping my eye also on, what's this one called? QUBT, but this one, it's coming back down. It's making lower lows, lower highs, so I've got nothing to do on that one. Let's see what else we're doing over here. Let's bring in the market. Let's bring in the MAX 7 on the side. What else we got? There we go. Excuse me. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's GOGL. There we go. All right, so let's see what we're doing. We're printing, yeah, okay. Apple is coming into that 254. We're coming into that 442.5 kind of level here, or 442-ish on TSLA. So it looks like we are putting in higher lows for perhaps another attempt at that 445 1/3. So you like that dip trade off 437. It comes really close to yesterday's closing print, which is kind of why I was buying in around here. So yesterday, Tesla closed at 436, 436 and change. So you come awfully close on that dip into 436.5, obviously percentage-wise, very close to the level. So keep an eye out on that. What else we got over here? How's our other trade doing? So we're still holding the low on MYSZ, still putting in bottoming tail candles. Looks like there's buying now coming in. We'll look to curl back up. I'll take some out at 75s if this one curls into that level. Still keeping my eye out for other small cap gappers that may be moving midday over here. I'm not seeing anything that's a new trade, a trade de novo, not something that had been trading in the pre-market. I'm seeing a new one here, TPIC, really into the highs. Let's load up the side chart over here and have a look at TPIC. I should also let you know that Zena, one that we've traded here before, is halted to the upside now on no news. Thanks, Tisha, for pointing that out. Here is TPIC. Very directional, very consistent dips off the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. So let's throw that ticker on there, because this one might behoove us to get something off that 160 area. Not the biggest mover on the day, but you're able to get predictable levels. So we'll pack our patience with that. There goes MYSZ holding the lows again. So we'll see if this one wants to curl back up. I'm leaving my out exactly where it is there. What's going on there, Katina Man? The Katina Man is $1 in the money on AMD. So make sure you are following more Trader TV Live. You'll be able to see his positions. You'll be able to see Neil's entries and exits as well. It's a different channel, though. You got to go to the link in the description of this video and click more Trader TV Live.
Yes. You know what that sweater reminds me of? Adam Sandler in Hidden Gem. For some reason, I don't know.
I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's a hooper, so you know what I mean.
He is a hooper.
Yeah,
he always wears a big shorts.
He's big time hooper, man.
That's kind of his thing.
Yeah, it's his thing. But guys, we're still holding on to this position here. Like in this PLTR, slowly climbing higher. Let's see if we can go and touch those all-time highs. Is Tesla starting to pick up some steam there, Sharif? All right, but our good friend Nick W in the chat asked us to take a look at serve for him. Yeah, it's trading really nice. Let's zoom out here, my guy. Again, it's just one of those days where you can't. It's so tough to. And if you're short, then you're definitely wrong. But again, if you're on to the long side, then it's hard to be wrong on that front, especially if you have good positioning. But it's not loading right now. We'll try one more time. And it's stalled on me again. So, Nick W., we'll get back to that look shortly once the charts decide that they want to load. But yeah, guys, let's continue to look. The SPY crawling towards high day as well again. So here we are. It is at high day essentially. So again, just on that path, I've mentioned that this pullback was awfully shallow and not overly aggressive. So just keep that in mind. Just stick with the trend. Don't fight it. It looks like one of those days where you're going to have to just buy the dips. There's no doubt about that. NVDA crawling higher as well, too.
Oh, yeah.
Picking up steam. So, again, monstrous session on that day, guys. Looking really well. Started engulfing here. I mentioned this print here the other day, Shreve. We really like this one here. We're holding those levels really well. 126.91, continuing to trade within this range. So we're running into some key resistance levels. Let's see if we can punch through this. This nice engulfing candle on the session can give you a little bit more confirmation on that front, my guy.
All right, so we're throwing that stop on there. There we go. Throw that on. Great. All right, so Tesla, as you can see, is breaking out quite aggressively. Doing well over here. We're waiting. I'm probably gonna take it out through the high of the day. If we can get above that 445.33 on TSLA, we'll take it out. Yeah, we're good, Ram. What's up? What's happening over there, Ram? You guys are having a good time. Yes, I can hear you. What's up? Okay, so we're gonna move on. I don't know. You're talking to me from your iPad. Oh my God.
It's lit.
You see that, Joseph? It's a hostile work environment, bro. And everybody hears it, but nobody does anything about it.
I told her,
the Katina man is like, look, man, I took a shot. I tried.
I told her to leave my Christmas gift on my desk just in case.
Oh, yeah. What do you expect to get?
I don't know.
Maybe a YSL She's known to give great food. She brought chocolate.
Ooh, some more of those grape leaves would be pretty.
Oh yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I can probably be a better hookup for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, better hook.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah. I'll go toe to toe with Ram any day on grape leaf stuffing.
All right.
My grandma taught me well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So there's a technique and everything, Joseph. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So I got to sample both of these. So I sampled those, so I need one of each, blindfolded, and then I'll test each one, and then we'll see which one is better on that front. So that's good stuff there.
Ram, have you ever made stuffed grape leaves? Say that once she was 10.
So who made the last ones? Your mom?
Well, it's Ram, bro. Everything comes catered, Joseph. You're not understanding the level of bougie that Ram lives in. Like it's a different reality for Ram, bro.
Peons.
She's got a different reality over there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ram. I love like building her character. It's like a mythical character. You know what I mean? Like good times, man.
Mysterious.
Joseph, I'm gonna ask you something.
Ask me it, brother.
Are we going to take 22,000 today on the NQ March contract?
It doesn't matter what I think.
The Katina man said no. So I don't even need to look anymore.
It doesn't matter what I think. If you really want to ask me, let's see what the 8-ball says.
All right, let's
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm. What do we got?
I don't know.
It got all bubbly, didn't it? Yeah, the bubbliness is an issue.
Yeah, all right.
You got to let it cool down for a little bit, then we'll be able to find out.
Give me an answer.
I'm thinking, we're not even below the 10 exponential. We could get a healthy retracement. I think that's completely warranted. But this parabolic buy-up, like what is going on? Now, not everything is created equal here. So just by extension, the Mag 7 looked like they're recovering far better than some of these non-Mag names. I'll give you just positions I'm holding. For example, ASML, nowhere near the highs that we were at before that. IBIT as well. Crypto, still below 100,000. We're at 96.9 on crypto. Let's talk about some other positions that I'm holding over here. I'm holding PanDub. We're well below 200 on PanDub post-split, obviously. We're barely below, we're barely above 190. We're at 191. So not everything is recovering as even, as evenly is what I'm trying to say and eloquently over here. So that is possibly buying opportunities for these non-mag names if you are bullish into the new year.
Yeah. Well, I'm bullish into the new year. I'm bullish for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
My guy. But yeah, let's see what some of these large and mid cap stocks are doing. I mean, some more breadth would be nice within the market. So if that widens, then that can really sustain some more of this movement that we've been seeing as of late, kind of just eliminating the past couple of days. But again, we're stepping up really nice, and that statistic really coming into play today, Sharif, that I mentioned earlier. So just keep a mind out on that. And when I was looking at the VIX, sorry, I kind of got sidetracked. And when I was looking at the VIX, yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, just after that FOMC meeting, I'm like, wow, that's an abnormal amount. So let me pull it up here for the people. And let's take
Your buddy Greg in the chat is joke.
Yeah, he is jokes. What do you say now?
He's trolling Ram.
Yeah,
he's like, she hasn't threatened him lately, you know? Like, even he's getting it. They haven't even met.
They don't even know each other. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, here we are, guys. Let's pull it out on let's pull it out from a weekly standpoint here. I mean, yeah, it doesn't do this too often, even though, what is this, 2009? Yeah, so again, this doesn't happen too often, these large spikes that we've seen the past day. So again, I was like, is this a time where you start to buy some puts on the VIX? But I think that ship has sailed. There's no doubt about that, especially on that spike. So next time I'm gonna document this actually, because next time that we do get this spike, I am going to look to play that sort of strategy maybe and see what's going on. I'll do something extremely protective just in case it does squeeze. But again, sure enough, Sharif, we spiked all the way up to 27, 28, and we're now down at 18 here on the fear index here, folks. So just keep that in mind. Volatility is starting to cool off a little bit, and I think that's a positive sign in the market because in most bull markets, you're going to see that volatility drop off. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Let's have a quick look to see what the situation is. So Tesla pulling back now a little bit, and obviously by extension of that, we're getting a bit of a pullback on TSLL. Looks like we weren't really able to break and take that 443, putting a bit of a candle of indecision at that 443 level there on the 5-minute at 1220 now. This candle red, looking for that continuation up to test the high of the day. So that's the whole idea here with the higher low situation. We do defend the closing print of yesterday, which was at 436.25. Once we had cleared it, we made the high, we came back lower, we tested that closing print, we held it. So I'm going to continue to remain bullish. I'm not going to add as aggressively, obviously, because of Tesla's relative weakness relative to the other Mag 7s. We've been talking about this ad nauseum during the midday. The other 6 have been making highs all the while. Tesla has not been able to do that. So I'm going to keep my eye out on that and look to add at the more opportune times. And then I'm continuing to deal with this, let's call a spade a spade. This is not a good trade on MYSZ. Should have been getting out of this one, but once it broke VWAP, but I'm just too stubborn at times. It's not a good thing.
Messy.
Ooh, and here's the thing now. I'm looking at it more thoroughly, and if I get out of trouble on this, okay, great. But here's the deal. The truth of the matter is there seems to be a flat bottom at around 5.25 to 5 1/3. So it looks like it's defending that level, but look at this, the lower highs. So we know that could cause a flat bottom break. In other words, a descending wedge, right? So we've got a lower high, lower high, lower high. All the while you're holding that 5.25, 5 1/3. How long does that hold? So my initial entry for this was it was curling to kind of test those highs. Should have waited for that alert at 6.5, did not, paying the price for that now. So that's my situation on MYSZ. If it gets a pump up, quite frankly, I'll tell you, I'll probably get lucky on this one if I do get out of trouble. That's what happens when you break your rules. But we are kind of being buoyed by the trade on TSLL, much more in the money on this one than out of the money on the other one. So we're looking for, look, I don't have too many outs, so I'm going to wait for that take of 34. So we'll wait on the north side of 34 on TSLL, and then we'll wait for the high of the day break, should that be forthcoming. And here comes Tesla again. Local area highs here at 33.80. So that's a look there. Jay Lee, NVIDIA looking to break past 135. You think, question mark, or is it just going to consolidate here and go sideways? Jay, I'm seeing higher lows. I'm seeing respect for the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. Let's have a look over here. Look, it's not as parabolic as, say, the dead one Apple, but, I mean, you'd have to agree with me, Jay, when you say we're seeing higher lows on this bad boy. right? This is the 5-minute look, by the way. So I think we continue to whiffle and waffle higher, and we just printed another high of the day on the future, Joseph.
Wow, crazy. That's insane. JPM climbing higher as well too. I like it drops off again. Maybe it spikes it. Yeah, exactly. Maybe we'll take a look at that officially. We'll talk later on that front, my friend. But we took a little bit off here on IBIT, slowly starting to climb higher. Let's see if we can go and test this high day. I would absolutely love for this thing to squeeze. Excuse me, there's no doubt about that. I'm not going to argue on that front. So we're going to continue to keep our eye on this. If we go and punch this high day and some momentum steps in, maybe we look to add a little bit more too. But let's take a look at NVDA, the chosen one here. The chosen one. Yeah, just hovering around high days here, Sharif.
Okay.
I think if we continue to move on this path, man, this is insane. Today is a pretty crazy day, if you ask me. Like, we're just slowly climbing higher and higher and higher. There seems to be no stop in sight. So I'm not going to fight that whatsoever. Even though I did vote on the poll short, kind of scratching my head about on that one there, folks. Don't go against the grain, as they say. But yeah, unfortunately we did, but that's okay because. Okay, we got some fire alarm stuff there. No worried about that. The building is not on fire. The only thing on fire today, Sharif, is the market. There's no doubt about that. So again, we took a little bit more off of IBIT here, folks. Let's continue to watch what's going on. I'm not going to get in any more longs up here. If I can find a pullback, a micro pullback, because that seems to be the case for the session, then we're going to look to get involved in some of these mega cap tech stocks. So let's go. I'm going to run through my scanner right now. Guys, continue to your short. James Choi, your short SPY puts from here. What's your strike price?
We got to send it to Adair, brother.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't hear, man. Yeah. All right, send it off to Adair, man.
We're going to look here at small caps right now. Make sure to vote for your choice, long or short, in the poll for the SPY. IWM here looking pretty nice, up about almost 2%, though it is projecting that 225 level. IWM has, especially recently, had a hard time with these $5 and $10 levels. We knew 240 was a struggle for a while. As of right now, 225, causing a little bit of trouble, though. Again, a nice bounce here since the pre-market, since that PCE print off 217. So great long here, at least off the open here in the pre-market for IWM. Lots of small caps to run through right now. We're going to take a look at BioAge Labs, BIOA. This one up about 19%. And this one actually just recently got a pop up here. What happened was Hunterbrook releasing a report saying they're going long BIOA. So instead of a short report, a long report, I guess, for lack of a better term, for BIOA with a $220 million market cap. Then we have PRLD. This one's Prelude Therapeutics. Bit of a topping tail candle here, but some volume coming in for this one with a short float of 13, basically 14% here, a total float of 13.74 million shares. So large short float. Short float, for PRLD. Then we have Edible Gardens here. This is EDBL. Day 2 move for this one. It looks like it didn't get much of a move on day 1. Yesterday morning, though, they did announce a 51% year-over-year increase in their preliminary sales results for Thanksgiving period. So EDBL here with a 2.34 million share float and a $6.4 million market cap. Great look. Last but not least, let's take a quick look at MYNZ. This is Maine's Biomed. Getting some increased volume here into this midday session here. Up about 43%, float of 1.6 million shares. 5.5% of that is going to be sold short. This morning it was announced that they're teaming up with Quest Diagnostics for commercializing these early alert screening detection in the U.S. So keep an eye here on MYNZ with this cancer detection screening catalyst, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adira. Joseph, you were saying, brother?
Train of thought. That train has gone,
Lee,
brother.
No worries, bro.
Yeah.
Jay Lee made $2.25 on MU long off 84 this morning. Sadly, sold too soon. Could have gotten well over $3. Overall, I find this approach helps me not overhold positions. Jay, you're always going to be mad as a trader. We always discuss that on the show. You know, you never have the top or the bottom, or if you do, you didn't have enough size. Just, practice gratefulness. I know it sounds like an anecdote, but that's really the reality. So shout out to Jay Dang Lee. one of the OGs, certainly in the chat there, Joseph. So let's talk about TSLL pulling back. So we worked our way above that or we almost got above 443. I think we did briefly, $443 on Tesla, pulling back in now a little bit here into the 28 exponential moving average on the 5. Tesla still up 1% by extension of that. TSLL up 2. It is a levered product. I'm talking about TSLL. So good look. I haven't been adding on this one in a while. I think that, it may be time to weasel a little bit more here. So we're going to add a little bit here on TSLL, which will obviously affect the cost basis. But I like the trend. We'll continue to watch that. I'm watching TPIC here, guys. This is breaking out. This is a big boy breakout. I don't know where the halt levels are here on TPIC. I set up a dip trade to front run 70. I saw a consolidation area of note here at 70. So I said, look, if it retraces and wants to defend the area consolidation top, I want to front run it by a couple of pennies. But this thing is going. TPIC up 53%. It has an $88 million market cap. It just started getting going. I mean, it's I shouldn't say just started, at around 11 o'clock. So it wasn't a pre-market runner. It's done about 4 million shares on the day, and the float's around 43 million shares. Let's find out what the short float is using Trade Ideas. Remember, Trade Ideas, by the way, has a special. Use tradertv.live. Good short float here, 17.33% on TPIC. I could certainly, be convinced to do a bit more charting to find out where people could find themselves squeezed on this bad boy over here. And I'm seeing some other names starting to run. And by the way, I'm in GameStop. I'm trying to build a position off 30s. Totally forgot to mention that. But here we go. Let's look at the daily now on TPIC. Where are people short? Well, I bet you there's a lot of shorts of around 3.5 to about 5. You can just see that was a really long consolidation zone. You'd think that shorts probably built their position in this zone somewhere. Let's zoom out a little bit more out. Yeah, I mean, we have so many levels to the high side. This has been down and to the right for a hot minute. Good day for it today. We'll look to trade momentum, but it's going to have to be a dip trade off that 170-ish and change. That's kind of the consolidation top that I'm seeing at the moment. Can kind of see that $1.72, $1.70 topping tail candle now coming off 195. Looks like it's rejecting that $2 area. So that's the look right now. I'm going to look to possibly build my position at 75s and then maybe DCA into 70s in case it doesn't quite come down into that consolidation area top. TPIC is the ticker I'm talking about, Joseph.
Yes, sir. I'm going to do something against the grain here. I'm going to look for a little short here on the TQs, Sharif.
Okay.
Yeah, if we break the high of day, then I'm just going to get out of it here.
Like it.
But I think we're a little toppy up here, folks.
Okay.
I could be totally wrong. I'm not going to, again, nothing crazy size-wise. I think I'm probably going to be wrong just the way this session has been, but we are awfully toppy, so I'm just going to take a stab at this. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's not going to affect anything on that front, all right? So, yeah, guys, a nice amount of votes so far, 835 votes on the session, and we still got another 20 minutes left before we dock our next trade. GameStop is absolutely trading, is on a monstrous run right now, Sharif. Yes, up about $30.20 here on GameStop. Trading well, so I'm glad that that's working out for folks. We're really compressing in price here, forming this really tight consolidation phase here. Let's see what happens in the coming days. Do we want to sit on top of some resistance here and then maybe climb higher? I don't know, but again, you guys kind of know my opinion on this thing here. So let's see what happens in the coming days with GameStop. And maybe it breaks a little bit higher, and then maybe it'll just grind.
Grinding. Yes, my man knows that. I was worried, bro. I'm 10 years your senior. I wasn't sure.
Man,
I was like, with Adara, I was kind of, she always punches outside her weight class. She likes to go and listen to the classics. So I was kind of established in that way. I was like, I don't know. Shout out to Joseph.
Yeah,
though,
shout out to Pharrell, though.
Hey.
For real. But yeah, guys. Oh yeah, I'm looking. I'm not looking like the light bulb is upstairs here, guys, on the TQQs trade. Was that funny, Ram? So yeah, guys, it's a little bit of a tougher look here. Do you think, hey Sharif, Joe, do you think this is the start of the Santa rally? Y'all rock. I mean, we've been in it. Christmas is next week, guys. So this is, I don't know if it's the start, but we've definitely been in this Santa Claus rally, I think. Let's see if it can continue. I said on this path, we mentioned those statistics. So when the VIX spikes over 60% in a session, the following month, even less than a month, the market usually makes all-time highs on that front. So let's continue to wait and see, right? I'm not going to say, yeah, that's it, we've put in a potential bottom or anything along those lines. But what you see from a recovery standpoint today is definitely positive vibes. So that's something you want to continue to monitor and look at. So I'm not saying, yeah, okay, that's it, the bottom's in, as I just mentioned. But again, this is a really positive note, and especially with our guy AMD continuing to just climb higher and higher, Sharif. Let's see what the low of the day was, 128.
What was the name we were going to give it, Joseph, if it started working its way back?
Oh, that's that's AMD. That's acquire more dollars.
Yes, I like it.
What is the acquire more dollars up to right now?
I don't know.
Let's see if it's either acquire. See, it's another face number.
Hey, get it? He's been shorting the hell out of that thing all day. He's been winning on it, so the hell with that.
Okay, so guys, this is what we came up with AMD, all right? It has multiple personalities. It's either Advanced Money Destroyer or Acquire More Dollars, okay? So that is the two names for AMD, and as of right now, it's living up to that alter ego, Acquire More Dollars. So it is continuing to kind of just grind higher, only up about 1.8% on the session. Let's see what its peers are up to. Oh, Sharif, I wanted you to look at this too, because I was looking at the forward PE. Look how much it's come down on AMD, and compare it to its peers like NVDA and Broadcom. It's relatively cheap to the market. Yeah, but the forward that's trailing.
Where should I look at? I gotta go key ratios. All right. So forward, I'll keep looking.
Keep doing your thing. It's around like 23 or so right now. So, and I think NVDA is around 33 or something along that, and Broadcom around 38. So, does the street think that it's relatively cheap right now? Maybe. We'll see, because from a daily standpoint, this thing has been super advanced money destroying. But again, slowly starting to turn around here. I think that eventually this thing is going to have to be a buy at some point. We're not even anywhere near its all-time highs at about 220 bucks. Like, that's 40% off that all-time high. So it's going to need to move quite a bit. Let's see if it put in that bottom. We're holding this pivot right here, this pivot level that I mentioned that we were going to go in and touch. And we're kind of holding it pretty well here, Sharif.
Yes,
so let's see if this thing can slowly start to turn around, and then it can help us acquire more dollars as well.
Like it. All right, Joseph, let's manage these positions. I've been waiting for a hot minute for a print at 3.25 on GameStop. It's not forthcoming. It's coming to 24s. It looks like there's a seller at 25s, excuse me. There's a seller of note. So we're back down into 20s. I'm gonna have to pack my patience on that. I built my position on this one, the break of the low, and I'm out on that bad boy. I built my position here on TPIC. We wet our beak. I'm looking again for it to hold this area right here, this $170, right? This is the area consolidation top before we broke out. So I'm looking for that area consolidation top to hold. I've layered my orders out. Let's see what comes. If we can move back above 180, I'm looking at 182. Now TSLL, I've put another beak wetter at the whole dollar, or just to front run the whole dollar. TSLL coming back now above 443s. It's gonna have to come into high days here for really to get going. NVIDIA's on the rampage right now. Looks like it's the strongest of the bunch. It's at the high of the day. So it looks like maybe taking some of the steam, or some of the wind, I should say, from under Tesla's sales. So we'll be able to see if this one can work up there. It looks like it got into 91s at the high there. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking to basically hold this level on TPIC. I put my out right below this area trough over here at $1.62. If it breaches that level, I'm gonzino. Look at GME, come right back in. That's so frustrating. By the way, GME is spready today. So at times it's been about 5 pennies or so, hence why I wasn't able to get the print at the $0.25. I could hear Dara clapping as soon as she heard spready. She's like, yeah. You haven't traded GameStop today, have you, Adara? No.
In a while.
No, she hasn't traded GameStop in a while, she says. So we'll keep an eye out on this one. It is more spready. It's 5 pennies right now. Right now you can see it 314 on the ask, 309s on the bid. So it's a little bit spready. You're not going to have as easy of a time getting in and getting out. Back to TPIC, holding still 170. Here we go with 80s. I'm waiting at 82s. We're long 72s. Let's layer these orders. Possibly here in case it does squeeze. And these have a propensity to squeeze, and they squeeze aggressively. I'm talking about these small cap gappers, TPIC in specific. It's a small float with a bit of a higher short float, about 18% or thereabouts. There's 80s. Can we get some 82s, baby? We're going to have to wait. Pack our patience. Oops, there we go. Let's go back to GameStop. GameStop back into 10s. It is making higher lows, though, so that's keeping me interested in the trade. We have consistently higher lows and higher highs. The other side of that coin, though, is we've had trouble taking 30s on a decisive basis as of late. And so now that we're a skosh above that $30 level, you wonder if the shorts start piling in and around 30, bringing it down below that level. So that's always a concern for me. Keeping an eye on that. Here we go. TPIC showing 82s on the ask. Unable to take it on the bid, so we don't get filled. We're going to have to keep waiting over here, layering our orders just in case, Joseph. What's your situation?
Yeah, we're looking at this, a $5 super chat. Joe, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
And traders. So he's referring to everyone here. Great opportunity long on Pan W intraday. Trailing some move on CrowdStrike, some pattern I used on Joby and ACHR. Good stuff there. You know what, Nick W? I haven't looked at CrowdStrike or Salesforce. Oh no, why'd I do that? No. Oh my God, all right, it's all right. We will survive. We will. Let's take a look at CrowdStrike, folks. I want to see what this thing is up to. All right. I wish I could just hide this somehow. Let me see if I can just hide this for a quick second. Bang. All right, there we go. All right, let's take a look at CrowdStrike here, folks. Yeah, I mean, we're consolidating here, trading in this range. I thought that after that earnings report that we were going to go and see all-time highs, but that's not the case. We're just trading in this range. But like the overall market today, it's putting in an absolute stellar session. So, I like CrowdStrike. Let's zoom in on this here and see what it's up to. Yeah, wow. Okay, yeah, parabolic like the rest of the market. So good luck there, Nick W. I haven't looked at CrowdStrike in a while. I remember for a long period of time, and I was talking to Officially, I think, about this, or someone in the chat, AMD, CrowdStrike, and CRM, and as well as Google, at one time, I was just rotating spreads. Like, I would open up 2-3 spreads on the weekend, and these trades were just working really well for me. I just kept rolling those spreads. But since then, that momentum and that kind of sentiment changed on those tickers. So we'll look for other things on that front. But yeah, I'm a big fan of CrowdStrike. There's no doubt about that. So let's see what here now. Do I have to? Okay, we got that one back. Thank you. There. Excuse me. 2NY. I am looking to get back in SMCI, and it has been holding above 30 for the month of December. Where do you see a buy here, and can you trust it? Double question, I like it. Can you trust it? I don't know enough about the company to be like, hey, yeah, I think this is a buy. I can just only really give you a technical aspect on that front. So let's take a SMCI. Again, yeah, moving like the overall market. I do kind of like it for a short here, though, 2NY, just because we have broken that key support system there. So let's see if it can continue to the downside. The market is slowly starting to pull back in, and we have 13 minutes. Guys, I just want to point this out. We have 13 minutes until we dock our next trade, all right? And look where we are. I don't know if we're going to hit it 2-1. I'm not going to eliminate the fact that it can happen, but just from where we are from an extended standpoint, in order for us to go another 2 points higher, that's going to be a significant increase on the SPY. So let's continue to monitor that. 13 minutes to go with 953 likes. Let's get that to 1,000. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty good, though, I think. No. We can do better, obviously. We can always do better, my guy. All right, so yeah, let's continue to look at this SMCI from a daily perspective. It's still hovering around those lows. 2NY. Again, if you're looking to acquire this for the longer term, I think you can allocate your capital to significantly better assets. There's no doubt about that. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You can make your own decisions. But why try to fight why try to fight this stock and be like, I think that it's going to recover? I understand that those risk to reward ratios may be there. But again, I would rather just participate in something that has been continuously proving over time and time again that it's working, not necessarily. Not necessarily super microcomputer. Gift, Joe W 5,000. Yeah. Hey man, you see my screen here, Kyle? Take a look at the screen there, brother.
See what Kyle just did right now?
We said
he
5,000.
Just gifted you 5,000 points, bro. Big Spot's making it rain up in the chat.
Send that. Yeah, I'll send you my email.
For
Kyle,
the real,
for the real stuff.
I like it, Joseph.
Yeah, and then we can
Joseph
go over that.
is savage. All right, we're gonna pay some bills.
Bills there.
All right, guys, trade the pool. Imagine trading with someone else's capital instead of your own. That's what it means to be a funded trader at Trade the Pool, and this is how it works. First, you complete the evaluation program by meeting the profit targets. Once you succeed, you trade the pool's capital, which allows you to trade with up to $260,000 in buying power. And here's the best part. You keep up to 80% of your profits while the firm takes all the risk. It's the ultimate way to trade, whether you're a beginner or a professional trader. So go on and check out tradethepool.com, link in the description of this video, or scan, I should say, the barcode on the bottom right of your screen. Joseph,
yes, sir.
Bang, we take it out on TSLA at 34. So that's a good move up there, if we can show the screen. So we're looking now to take out more through the high of the day on TSLL. That is going. GameStop is going. We took out some shareage there through the break of the third. Now I'm waiting on the north side of 40. So GME continuing its higher low, higher high pattern. It looks like we took out multiple sellers into the mid to high 30s there. TPIC, we got the print at 82s, but here's the situation. Now we find ourselves in a bit of a compression pattern with a bit higher lows, but lower highs. I still haven't been printed at 88s, and here we go, dipping into the high 70s, low 80s right now. I would like to see continuation above that $1.84. That's where we double topped on the one. I'm going to wait at 88s on TPIC. Good mover, midday mover. Really started moving around 11 o'clock. Didn't really trade in the pre-market. I should tell you, I am defending that 70 penny level. If that level is to give way, I would like possibly to see what happens at 62, but that is not ideal. Tesla is coming back into 445, or so it seems. Let's see what the situation is. So we're above 34s right now on that bad boy. So packing my patience. We're in 3 trades. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what's cooking. Let's cooking. We had shepherd's pie for lunch today. Did you see that?
Yeah, I was displeased.
Were you?
Yeah, I'd like the separation of the different components. I want the protein on its own, the carbs on its own, the vegetables on its own.
I see.
They're mixing it in. They're making me eat the carbs. Joseph, I don't want to eat the carbs.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you know what? And since you did that, I kind of chilled off on the rice lately because it's cut season apparently here with Sharif. So I'm like, all right, it's time for me to get the ball rolling as well too.
Absolutely.
For sure. All right.
1,000%.
Yeah, you bring if you.
So Ram was just saying in the ear, she's got a sick recipe for tiramisu. If she sends it, I'll absolutely make it. You can make it.
I don't think I've ever had tiramisu.
No?
No, I've never had it. Yeah.
No, it's really good.
I've never had it.
Sick dessert. Yeah.
But hey, man, if you got any more of those protein bars hanging around,
I haven't made them in a hot minute. Can I tell you why?
Why?
Because they're trouble on the weekend, Joseph.
Oh, you just mouth them.
I mow them down,
Well,
bro. And there's obviously a lot of calories in that, right?
Yeah, send them my way, my guy.
Hey,
You know
look
what I
at
mean?
this.
Yeah, hey, Mike, you want to take that? Take that, baby.
Yeah, Mike Bebert. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your last name. I apologize about that. Shout out to Mike. Sharif. He's Canadian. $20 Canadian super chat. Sharif, it's Michael, the GME guy. I've sold last week 30% of the GME shares I accumulated over the past 4 years, and I bought January 17th, $25 GME calls. This is my life-changing trade, up 30% so far. Keep you posted. Keep us posted, my friend. Absolutely would love to share your story. And we've been talking about this. GameStop has been trending up lately. It's had issues with that 33. Neil, what's your level as well? You've been talking about levels on GameStop. 32 is, pardon me? 32.25. Neil's earmarked that level as an issue as well. But for my humble estimation, I think we have been making higher lows, I believe, on the daily. Let's double check that. Excuse me for a second while I switch to the daily. Locally, yes, you can see the closing prints all holding that kind of 20 exponential moving average on the daily. The wicks also successively higher. Neil's absolutely accurate in the sense that we have had issues at 32s. The top has changed at times from 31s to 32s if you're basing it on the wicks. I still feel GameStop has been breaking out. It's a technical trade. I'm never going to vouch for this business model. I have my opinions. Those are my own. But the technicals are there. There's higher lows, there's higher highs, and that's the situation. Yeah, so if you want to trade it from a technical sense, that's it. It's giving you an opportunity. So we're in it right now, Joseph. We're looking to wet our beak next above 40s. It's dipping back down into that $0.25. I'm looking for that pattern to hold of consistently higher lows. We'll see what comes from there. Tesla now breaking up big boy over here.
Wow.
There we go with TSLA. It's back above 445. It's 445 and a third HOD. We're holding TSLL at the $0.50. Joseph, look at this ad.
Oh, wow.
That's a legit ad, eh?
That's legit.
That's a legit ad.
Look at that chart. Anyways, never mind the ad. Look at this Deion Sanders prime time entry right here.
Prime.
And then those beautiful partials, and then nice ad, man. Nice work there, brother. That's a stellar.
I was
trade
happy
there.
with that ad.
Yeah, well, now you like TSLA, eh? That's
it was kind of, you got that back. Well, this thing, okay, I was trading TSLA when it was 100,
yeah, it's
200,
totally different
even
from
300.
yeah,
No,
300. But now, now you got to get onto that leverage product because it is getting expensive, no doubt about that.
Mistake, he says, Mike Beber at 1. I bought $35, not $25. Still out of the money for now. All right. No worries. All good there. Guys, TPIC is breaking down now below 70s. Here we go. So if this breaks 62s, it is all over for this trade. It's supposed to hold over 70. That's why I'm involved in it. Let's have a look at TPIC on the 5. It is now at VWAP. Okay. So decisions now to be made on TPIC. There you have that break of what I perceive to be support at 70, but just slightly below that at 66 is the volume weighted average price. You can bet your bottom dollar I will not be trading this south of VWAP. I will not make that mistake again today. I hate making that mistake to begin with. It's like on your rules list, bro, It is not hard to follow your rules. Anyway, I'm just yelling at myself here. Guys, Rigetti, RGTI into the high of the day. Beautiful hold here. It consolidated, it whiffled, it waffled, it held 9 on the dips, most notably. But here we have a break of that kind of consolidation area, top at 9 2/3. And here comes the high of the day, $9.85 on RGTI, a quantum computing name, or play, I should say. Keep your eye out on that. So we're involved, obviously, Joseph, in those 3. Let's see how they all pan out. What's your look?
Yeah, for sure. Someone's asking me to take a look at TNXP for them. So let's see from a market cap standpoint, 116 million. That's okay, but Tonix Therapeutic Corporate and biopharma company focused on developing, licensing, and commercial therapeutics to treat and prevent human disease, alleviate suffering, and so a whole lot of nothing I got from that little description there. But again, I'm not looking to get involved in these. This isn't my wheelhouse. From a technical standpoint, I can't give you much. Like, look at this and then compare this to other charts. Do you believe in the company's business model? If yes, are they profitable? If yes, then by all means continue to hold this position. But I'm not going to give you too much on this from that front. Like, look at this massive engulfing. You do have that volatility and that volume stepping in. But again, what are you buying it for? Because it's 62 cents or something along those lines? And sure enough, then yeah, look for that massive percentage gain. Because if you go in and touch those highs again, then you got 100% right there. That's fantastic. But other than that, I don't trade too much of these biotech stocks. That's for sure. But we got the Qs slowly starting to pull in here. And as Bitcoin is slowly climbing higher, kind of the inverse of each other. So let's see on the TQs if we had the inability to create a new high a day there, which is kind of positive for this short. but it's not positive for our soon-to-be trade coming up in 2 minutes. But again, let's see if we break this. If we do happen to breach these support levels, then I think there's going to be some potentially more downside there. Oh yeah, sick line there. Wrong. It's a not horizontal. Okay, so there we go, guys. If we break 85 on the TQs, I do think that there's going to be potentially some more downside. But as of right now, we're hovering around those highs of days. I think coming in in the after hours, we do have that kind of that addition and deletion coming in, as well as a bunch of options, futures, contract, a bunch of everything, triple witching, expiring. So you're going to see that volume influx. There's no doubt about that. So just be weary of those things. As of right now, I do think we're a little bit toppy on the market. Are we going to pull back all the way to VWAP? I don't know. Only time will tell. But I think somewhat of a pullback is going to be in the near future, I think. So let's see if we can come back. I would like to see SPY 592, to be honest, and I would like to see the Qs 522, 520, and then we can put in some potential reversal signals and then go higher into the close, Sharif.
Okay. All right. Nick Dub, tell me, don't miss Pan Dub. I hate looking at it, man. It's so high beta, and it's the second largest position. I have so many shares of this thing, especially post-split. Now it's double. Yeah, so I don't like trading it, Nick, just because it's like influences me like with Apple. But anyway, Adair's at the big desk.
What we're going to do here is take a look at the crypto space for the second time today. Right now, we're going to start with Bitcoin. I'd like to put up a weekly chart here because we are in the last day of the week, and this is actually only our second red week since the election on November 5th, which we know led to that huge Bitcoin rally and new all-time highs. However, the other reason I want to point this out here is because the only other red candle we had this month is going to be starting in November 25th, 2024. So that would be around the Thanksgiving week. This candle was red, but we did have a pretty massive bottoming tail candle here. And then the next week, we ended up actually clearing 100,000 for the first time. So this candle does look, to borrow a phrase using this show a lot, distinctly different. We have this weekend to new all-time highs above 108. And then at lows here, we're at 92,000. So it's a lot more volatility in this weekly candle. Now, we also we're going to be closing on the lower end of that. That's in contrast to this bottoming tail candle we saw. So this could be one of the first really bearish weekly candles we've seen for Bitcoin since the election. So just be aware of that for BTC. Take a look at Ethereum here as well on the weekly chart. Yeah, Ethereum, a much more grim picture here. This is a bearish engulfing candle taking out almost 3 weeks of price action here if we close below that 3360 area. As of right now, trying to hold on to 3400, but Ethereum and Bitcoin in a pretty pivotal space right now, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adira. What are you laughing at?
The video of the tiramisu and then Andre's little chime in. I like that.
What do you say?
He's like, nice. I don't even know what tiramisu consists of, so yeah.
Bro, it's pretty good. Remember Superbad?
Yeah.
That's what they were making in home ec class.
Yeah.
That was and he wanted to pair up with Emma Stone, right?
Yeah, that's
he wanted
crazy.
to make
he's like tiramisu. Nobody cares about tiramisu.
He's so sinister. He's trying to weasel his way in.
I gotta watch that movie this weekend. Yeah.
So good. All right, guys. Here's the situation. We added to Tesla. All right. I looked over to Joseph. I'm adding. Bang, man! Look at that, bro. Are you kidding me? Taking that out.
Almost took me out with that right hook.
Sorry,
with that right hook there. Let's go. And you added again?
Yes, I added there. That's what I'm just trying to say. I added.
End the show. End it now. Oh, it's over. Oh, Sharif.
What happened?
You know what time it is?
What?
It's that time, baby. We need it. Okay, we need that thing, the Playmaker poll, to come up on the screen every day at 1 o'clock. Okay. We'll get Fabian. I know he's busy, but we're gonna we'll get him to work on that 1 o'clock. The Playmaker poll coming up.
Joseph,
no, I'm not ready. I wasn't ready.
Yeah, I love that. That's so funny.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah, all right. Let's go here. Sorry, Ram. I got to go back to the old school one. We'll implement your new one here shortly once I get more accustomed to that.
Really upset.
Yeah. Well, sorry. We'll get over it. Okay. Sharif, let's go. 11th trade, folks.
594.30.
594.30. Okay.
593.30 out.
Is our stop loss? Yeah. 593.30 is our,
out.
okay,
So we're
perfect.
596.30.
596.30 is our profit taker on that one, folks. Bang. We're in at 103. Yeah. Is it? No way.
It's high
man.
day.
Wow. Okay, so there it is, folks. There's the the 11th trade. After 10, we are profitable very nicely. You see the cumulative P&L right here, folks. 252 whopping paper dollars on that front.
Hey.
So congratulations to everybody so far. And I mentioned this, we're about a 500 hockey club here, right? About 50% win rate, which is really nice with that 2-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
That's how we want to stay from a system standpoint, guys. So let's see how today pans out. Who knows? Maybe they pull a rabbit out of a hat and then we decide to make a new all-time high. Or not all-time high, a new high a day, which is totally which is around the top of this range. But as of right now, Sharif, we are starting to pull back.
Okay.
A tough area to enter this trade, in my opinion. But only time will tell what happens, my guy.
Look, Joseph, Tesla is on the way up. Now, this is kind of what I theorized would happen, that in the fact that the other 6 were making higher lows and higher highs, and Tesla was not participating in that. Now, the other 6 curling back down. Tesla, high of day, breaching 447.08, technically HOD. It was a beautiful hold of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart. And let's see if the move continues. So we wet our beak there for some profits on the way up. Packing my patience. Let's see if we can continue to move up there. This one is very close to getting stopped out. I'm talking about TPIC. Let me have a look to see if it's below VWAP. It's at VWAP, so it's going to have to hold this level, but I don't have a whole lot of hope in this one. It's a lower low, lower high, symphony on that one. GameStop took out some more. We're still about 20 pennies in the money. Took out some more at the consolidation area top there, 30 1/3. If this one continues to move down, the end of the trade here is a breach of that $30 area. I've set up a profit taker north of 40 though. We have a consolidation area, I would say 30 to mid 30s. So we'll see if we're able to take out that consolidation area top to the high side, sending it to the big desk or the dare.
Beware here of TXN. Texas Instruments up about 2% near day's highs. Not much of a reaction to this, but we did just get news here that the U.S. has finalized an up to $1.6 billion subsidy for Texas Instruments for its factories in Texas and Utah. So more of this looks like CHIPS Act related news here with regards to Texas Instruments and some of their factories in Texas and Utah. Make sure to like and subscribe. Back to the Bash Brothers.
You got to like and subscribe, baby. Make sure to smash that like all the time. Who's this? Sub YT.
Hit it.
Oh, there it is.
Sub on YouTube.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, but we got to update that number there. Really outdated.
Oh, God, yeah. We're almost at 500,000. I haven't looked at some of these in a while. What is it? Oh, that's our man. That's our man. He freaks out there.
I like that guy. I like that guy.
Oh, no, that guy does.
I mean, I might need that one there. Play that guy one more time.
Yeah, this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, that's not the one. I am. There it is. I love it. Everybody loves this guy. He's an intense individual.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it. Yeah, Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly. I never seen him that intense, man. Cussing, he's freaking out.
Doing it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, good stuff there. Bitcoin starting to pull in a little bit here, guys. Let's see if we can break these key support levels here. We got a nice structure on the TQs. If it does go to the south side, potentially some more there, and we are starting to breach it kind of as we're talking about it. So 85 is that number on the TQs. Are we heading a little bit south here? It's looking like, Sharif, we only got about 30 cents until we get stopped out here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. I told you guys, it's a tough look.
To the heart of the market every day.
Why do I look like
Yeah, you look good, man.
I don't look good there. What is up with that?
Embarrassing.
Can we get a new one? Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. Anything is possible.
We can do. I think we're
Take this opportunity to like and subscribe to our YouTube
That's a hell
channel.
of a sweater
You won't be
he's got on there.
disappointed.
Nice sweater,
There's
man.
lots of
sweating
bangs.
looking at that.
Yeah. This guy said he's sweating. Look at that thing.
Matt
That's
C.
hilarious.
Now that Lucid has broken $3 thoughts, I threw Lucid up onto the poll, guys. I saw it. It's moving up. Big boy. Let's talk about it, Joseph. Here it is. So LCID, we're going to have a look at the blotter super quick to see if there is a headline for this. Why Lucid stock jumped to day shares of electric vehicle maker Lucid jumped this morning on seemingly no company-specific news. Rather, Lucid shares are likely gaining traction after a new report showed that the EV sales gained ground in November. So it's more of a sector tailwind than a company-specific, tailwind. So, yeah, that's, look, what are the other EV names doing? Let me have a look quickly on my side chart over here. EVs, yeah, they're all in Greensville. You've got Polestar up 7%, Lucid up 15%, Nikola up, Rivian up, obviously Tesla's up. So yeah, good look. I mean, here's the daily though. Okay, so this is curling. I don't know how you guys are experiencing Lucid sales in the States. Here they're really giving aggressive discounts, but it's on the previous year model, so on 24 models. If you're getting 24 models, they're giving you ridiculous finance rates, well below market. I'm talking about 2.25. If you were to go anywhere else, it's like 4, 5, 6. So interesting that they're doing that. Obviously, that hurts margins. So my thinking was they were trying to move off inventory to bring on the new inventory. So I started looking at the difference between the 24s and 25s, and there's none. I mean, there's just because they have to keep producing to meet quotas, not quotas because they're forced, but because shareholders are going to want to see year-over-year growth in sales and in earnings, et cetera. So it's interesting what they're doing now. I personally am waiting for the Gravity. I'm an SUV kind of guy. We've been hearing about the Gravity for a long time. There's a lot of videos online. If you look at the Lucid Gravity, it's a really nice car. Marquise Brownlee's reviewed it. He said great things about it. Not only him, lots of other people as well. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. It looks like deliveries are going to start in the States well before Canada. It looks like you guys are going to start getting the deliveries in Q2 of 2025 for the Lucid Gravity. I think that that's what moves the needle. I don't personally like sedans, and I think that the market is bigger for SUVs. And I think if you're not in the SUV market, you're doing yourself a marked disservice. Hence why the Model Y is the best-selling car, I think, in the States, or second best car. I don't know, after the F-150, something like that. So that's the situation. What's this called? GameStop's coming back down here. So GameStop's coming into that $30 area. My stop has moved up to 30s. So we've taken out the majority in that 30 area. We're long 07s. So we'll risk 7 pennies from where we're currently in for GameStop. It also happens to be the 20 exponential moving average. So I don't really want to be trading this if this is going to be below the 10, below the 20, below the $30 area. So we'll get stopped out if this breaches 30, but we're still in it for the moment. Joseph.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the Qs are slowly breaking down. I mean, there's no momentum in this selling here. We might need it to step in, but it seems slightly shallow, which is totally fine and positive for bullish sentiment. But as of right now, as you can see, we're putting in that turtle shell pattern, slowly curling over. But the real question is, at what point does the market decide that buyers want to step back in? So let's point out some key support levels here. And I think that this is going to be one of them on the TQs. We've breached one now, and then now we're going to go and test the other. If we break that, then let's determine a potential, an additional level after that. Okay, so let's take a look, zoom out a little bit here, folks, and take a look. Where can our next price target be? That's not very significant, but we'll mark it down anyways just to see. I think a short on today is going to be a little bit more of a grind compared to the longs because of how strong the market is, and you can just see the strength in the tape as well too. So sure enough, we just buy up any dip. I don't know if we're going to break any lower, but I mentioned this throughout the whole session. We're extremely extended from the volume weighted average price. So I am kind of expecting something, but if it doesn't show up, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, why didn't it show up? You can just tell from the overall market, all right? Because it's really strong. I'm going to eliminate the T here and just look at the Qs to see from a percentage metric on what we're sitting at. Okay, so about 1.7% on the session. Nothing crazy, but I mentioned this before. We're now engulfing from a daily perspective. Really positive for the bulls here. I do like that. Bitcoin is starting to pull back as well too, guys. Hovering around that 68,000, just under 96,000 and just under 97,000 there. So 96.8 it's currently printing. The Qs are slowly grinding higher, which is kind of good for the TQs trade. Am I still in IBIT? a little bit. Yeah, I am. So we got about 10 cents here.
All right, so
Yeah, show me
that's
what's going on here.
Haktua. That's the Haktua coin or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
All right, here's what she wrote.
What'd she write?
Haley Welsh, right?
Yeah, let's see.
I take the situation extremely seriously and want to address my fans, the investors who have, I know, my question too, Adara. The investors who have been affected and the broader community. I am fully cooperating with and committed to assisting the legal team representing the individuals impacted, as well as to help uncover the truth, hold the responsible parties accountable. This is rich. Hold the responsible parties accountable. Where am I at? And resolve this matter. If you have experienced losses related to this place, please contact, and she lists some law firm, which I'm not going to name, with the link below. That is jokes.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, come on.
I don't know whose idea it was, but whoever's idea it was to make this coin and then do a rug pull is out the door like immediately. Yeah.
I told you about that kid.
Yeah. So,
13-year-old.
I mean, but when you kind of have the publicity that she's had over the past year or so, right? So everything is, you have a spotlight on you now. You know what I mean? So not the best idea. Who's this girl's PR team? Whose idea was this? Because you're immediately fired and you're out the door. Again, I don't know why we know why she's famous, but should she have as much of a following as she currently does? I don't think so.
No.
I mean, like, come on, like, let's get real here. Like, I mean, the video is funny, I guess, and whatever. Yeah, but other than that, anyways, rant over. That's done with. Let's talk about the overall markets. I don't really want to talk about Haley Welsh there, but Haktua girl, and her friend. But yeah, Tesla PLTR, NVIDIA, QUBT. Let's take a look at some quantum, because apparently this is the new craze. Kind of how when AI, if anything had A in front of it, now it's quantum. All right. So let's take a look at this from this perspective. Going to go and test VWAP. I don't know if I can get involved in this thing, but apparently you're supposed to be adding this into your portfolio now, and I don't think I can argue that at all. So again, up to $1, all the way up to 27%. So beautiful stuff on that. We got to look to get involved in the quantum. That volatility is really starting to pick up on this. So if we can grab any pullback, it's not expensive, so maybe we'll look to get involved in here. But Sharif, this TQ's trade is starting to work out. We're now starting to break some of these support levels, and I think we got stopped out of our SPY trade here.
Oh.
Yeah, 393.30. Yeah, guys, we got stopped out there. Yeah, we got stopped out for our first stop out. That's okay. But let's document this here while we're at it. So we were only in that trade for about 12 minutes, a whopping 12 minutes there, and then we got we took a little bit of a hit, but that's okay because we had our orders set out, right, folks? So we're not too worried about that. Yeah, exactly. So 152, bang. So there we go. That's okay. That's why we like to keep those winners a little bit longer, bigger. But again, we documented that. We are now out of that trade. You got another?
You think they rough her up in jail?
You think she goes to jail?
She might spend a night or two.
You think so?
There's prison and there's jail.
Yeah.
And she might get arrested.
Think she goes to county for?
Spends a night in the county.
Yeah.
The Chilean nightmare is like, yo, these people don't go to jail.
Well,
they bank and they leave us holding the bank.
Like how involved is she? Is the real question. I don't think that she.
Is Jake Paul in jail?
Or
you
Logan,
said?
yeah,
No.
or Logan.
Or
no,
Logan.
Exactly, yeah,
No.
but they have significantly
Didn't
more.
Kim do the same thing too? Wasn't Kim pumping some stuff?
Probably.
During the pandemic,
Yeah.
I remember people saying that. I don't personally follow her, so I don't know. But
the pandemic.
The pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like, look, I think people need to be held to account because we need like respect for the crypto industry if we're gonna get this done properly. Yeah, and if you're gonna have these Haktua coins and rug pulls and 13-year-olds on YouTube pumping meme coins, I mean, it lacks credibility, right? And then you invite overregulation when you have these dumb, you know what, people do that. It's like the people that ruin it for the rest of you. You know what I mean? That's kind of the situation. So I want to nip it in the butt. Say that again, Fabian. When am I announcing the Sharif coin? You think that little of me, Fabian? That you think I'm like that cynical that I'm here pontificating and then I'm going to run my own meme coin? Wow, Fabian, come on. I'm different.
Hold on here. There's a really interesting comment here. If you want BTC to have respect, you need to put her in jail. I don't know how much I agree with that statement, Jameson, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but what does that necessarily, like, I understand you don't want to see these types of things, right? You don't want to see these meme coins, but what Hawk to a coin has essentially nothing to do with Bitcoin. So I don't know.
It's crypto.
Yeah, it's encrypted currency. I get it. Like, and from a broader landscape, it's not good for the industry.
No.
But it's like saying, I don't know, I'm not going to make any analogy, but I don't necessarily agree with that comment, that's all.
Yeah, no, look, if the facts support it, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. If she didn't genuinely know anything, let the fact-finding process vis-a-vis the trial discover that. I happen to believe, that's too much of a coincidence, especially with how things have gone in the past. And there's also a concept in law called willful blindness. All right. If you have enough information that it should prompt you to make further inquiries, you're found to be subjectively liable. Okay. So you got to be able to, not everybody's a walking lawyer, obviously. And so sometimes you don't really know the bounds of what's legal and what's illegal. But if you were found later to be subjectively liable because you should have made further inquiries, well, then you're going to spend some time in the slammer, babe.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what are you thinking in the first place? Investing in Huck to a coin or Dog with Hat and some of these other meme coins.
I would.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. What is the kind of the mindset around that? Like, do you really think? Oh, yeah.
I think they want to be part of the squeeze. Let's call a spade a spade. They're buying it because they're like, it's not going to happen. I'm smart enough. I'll get out quicker.
That's fine. Totally reasonable, right? But then you have to understand the repercussions of what your actions are, right? Okay, so it's like, okay, you're taking an absolute gamble, understand that, and if it doesn't work out, you can't go crying because you decided to gamble your money on Huck to a coin or Dog with Hat.
Yeah, there has to be some personal responsibility.
Exactly.
I completely agree with that. At the same time, we need to dissuade people from doing this nonsense, right? And I hate over-regulation. I don't like government bureaucrats trying to, theorize what can and can't happen and try to put all these hypothetical situations when they never run a business themselves. It drives me nuts. But it's this kind of stuff that invites that kind of behavior from government, and it drives me crazy as well. So
for sure.
That's my tea for today.
Yeah.
Bang. All right, let's see how we're doing here, Joseph. TPIC on the way back up. And so we're going to wait for 88s curling off the volume-weighted average price. I'm happy I wasn't pushed out of this one. We kept true to it. We kept our eye on VWAP. Let's see what this one does. Now, GameStop, I've set up a lower beak wetter to account for that that $0.25 pop. Again, very spready, 4-penny spread right now. So despite the fact it's been crossing 24s, I haven't been getting printed as a result of the spread. So I'm very focused on this one as well. And last but certainly not least, here comes TSLL. We will get stopped out in 1 penny. We got stopped out for the last remaining amount. I've done well on this one, but we're going to give back about 10 pennies on that last little addition over here as this one. Tesla now coming into the 20 exponential moving average. Tesla's been red for 4 5-minute candles in a row. It is coming into that 442.5, generally that 20 exponential moving average. I see you, Rich Wharton. OPTX is coming back up. I do see it. It's at VWAP right now, but it's going to have to clear the volume-weighted average price for me to get involved. I'm not going to break my rule twice today. It will have to take VWAP before I weasel in. So here we go. TPIC coming into 82s. I'm still waiting at 88s. A nice curl again off VWAP for TPIC. Still involved in GameStop. Packing my patience. We got the print at the $0.25. But ultimately, Joseph, I don't want that $0.25 print. I want that 41 bump and grind, but we're not getting it so far. So
bump and grind, so grind. All right, but yeah.
You looked over. He's like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't see nothing wrong with that. That's
wrong.
my man, Neil.
Yeah.
It's a weekend.
Yeah, all right. It is the weekend, yeah. I forgot to put that. Yeah,
and it's like the holiday weekend. It is everybody, all the stupid drivers are out.
They're out.
No, there's no stupid driver who's at home.
No.
All right?
No,
they all conspire together.
Yeah.
Like we're all gonna go on the road at the same time, and we're all gonna be imbeciles.
And then you know what they decided? They're like, hey, we're gonna drive down Yonge Street as well too,
Yes!
just to get under Sharif's nerve. Like we know he's coming in the office here, so guys, all right. And so there's a Facebook group just out there solely for that.
I'm having a good time, bro. This is too good.
I mean, it's the holidays, man. It's hectic.
Man.
I actually drove in this morning because Fridays are usually a little bit quieter. And I'm like, you know what? It's snowing out there. I didn't want to have to deal with the cold as much, so I was like, let's take the vehicle in today. So I'm glad we did that, and it was a good drive. There wasn't too much traffic, so I'm not happy about that.
Right.
But what I have this game plan. I'm thankful for her. I wonder if she's listening. I know she's probably having a nap. So now I have this new method, and I'm loving it. I just e-transfer the.
Derek was clapping for the nap. I love it.
For the
nap.
The nap, yeah, nap. Yeah, she's a big napper.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just e-transfer the girlfriend now the funds, and she does all the shopping for me.
Brilliant.
So I'm liking the new system that we got.
Okay. And she's good with that, right?
She's good with that. She's more than happy with that. Yeah. So
I think Ram would be good with that too, as long as she's got cash in hand. Cash in hand, right?
Yeah.
It's either gold in hand or cash in hand, but not crypto, right, Ram?
Really good, yeah. So everything's done on that front. Thankful for that one. So. Shout out to the darling over there. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. But yeah, guys, TQQ Sharif, we did break those key support levels. So we are continuing to head a little bit lower. We have that nice turtle shell curl over that is really nice. So a rounded top, we can call it turtle shell, whatever you would like to do it. Exactly, officially. That's the system, man. That's why we're efficient. That's how we get things done around here. You know what I mean? Pawn it off to somebody else. You know what I mean? That's it, yeah. But let's see what happens here with, excuse me, the Qs, guys. Because I do think we're slowly going to start to curl over a little bit more. As you can see on the 5-minute time frame, that volume is starting to pick up and the momentum is continuing. I don't know how much lower we can go, but we're just going to continue to monitor this and see where we can, if there's any potential turnaround signals, or we're going to head back towards VWAP. Sharif, what are you cooking up?
Yes,
here,
sir.
brother?
We just wet our beak at the high 30s here on GameStop. We're long go 5s. I'm setting up another profit taker on the north side of 40. I should let you know that the spread really did open up a second ago, and then it got super tight. Here we go. We're 39s now showing up on the ask, tightening up to 3 pennies. I saw it as wide as 17 momentarily. It didn't hang out in that kind of wide spread for all that long. I'm waiting on the north side of 41s. There seems to be some selling right now at 39s, and then we do reject the level, so I'll pack my patience for that one. Big Spa, what's he doing over there? Venmo me $5 today for your own Big Spile coin ETF. Oh, Big Spile.
It's not even an ETF, it's an NFT.
It's an NFT. I misread that.
Days.
Oh my, I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
We don't even have Venmo over here, bro. Such
really,
is the case. I can e-transfer you if you got a
They don't
Canadian.
even know what e-transfer
They have
is.
no idea.
They
got no idea. When I say Interac in the States, they look at me like,
Yeah.
it's like you got to say debit.
What,
right? Like,
PayPal?
Yeah, PayPal, right? Yeah. Oh, I was about to say bang. Now we're showing 42s here on GameStop. I didn't get printed despite the fact that we are showing 42s on the ask. Let's see, bang, there we get the print on GameStop through the break of the high, bang. So let's keep watching that one.
What is Fabian doing?
Where is he? What is he doing over there? Ram, put the camera on him. Jay, what do you mean? You're not mean to him? Oh, yeah, because you got to sit next to him all day. That's why.
Yeah.
JV. Wow, you hearing that fire?
Yeah, I am.
Shout out to JV. I like that $2 super chat. Guys, are we seeing a dead cat bounce sell? I'm personally bullish on the day. I've made that very clear. I think we curl up, maybe even test that high of the day. I'm talking about the NQ March contract. 21,812 is currently the high. There goes GameStop through the $0.50. We're long at the whole dollar. Let's see. I'm not taking it out here, man. I'm going to wait.
Fire today,
I appreciate it, Joe. We're going to wait for that. What's going on over there, Katina, man? The Katina man's $1 in the money on AMD again, aren't you? $2. $2.
Hit it
the
again.
money. Shout out to the Katina man. He's been dancing with AMD all day, and he's been getting the better part of that dance. AMD, guys, right back into that 120 area at the volume weighted average price. A big boy curl off that 122 touch and drop. So keep your eye out on AMD. If it gives up VWAP, the closing print yesterday on AMD was just south of 119. So keep your eye out on that. Tesla, Joseph, it's zigging, it's zagging. Let's talk a little bit about this bad boy over here, TSLA. I was about to jump back into this because of this candle here on the 5-minute at 120. It was kind of a lower low, lower high. It ended up a doji and ended up green. And then the subsequent candle, the one that we're currently in, the 125 candle, made a new high. But this one looks like it was bamboozling the shorts. It still hasn't made a newer low, so I'm going to keep my eye here on Tesla. If it wants to curl back up, take out that 447.08 HOD. I'll participate in it via TSLL, but I'm going to need to see a little bit more. Here we go again with TPIC. We're involved in this bad boy, and I've been waiting for 188s to come in. It looks like there is a seller of note here at 82s. It looks like that same seller who was selling at 84s, now down to 82s. I saw you, Fat Figga. You were talking about TPIC as well. I'd love to get your take. If you could tag me in the chat, my friend, let me know how you're seeing things on this bad boy. But I'm seeing that same seller who was selling at 84s is now selling at 82s. I need to be convinced that that top can come off. I've been still waiting for 188. On that. Big Spile sending me messages. What's going on over here, Big Spile? Oh, he just sent me the NFT photo.
Oh, let's see it.
Ram, can we do this camera over here? Yeah. That's Big Spile.
Spiled one.
That's the official NFT, my NFT photo. You got to have a QR code scan for that NFT. The Katina man has a hoodie that has an NFT on the back with a QR code. I thought, we only do QR codes though, apparently, unless we don't do it unless Ram gets commish. I'm getting that in my ear right now from Ram. She's very high maintenance.
0.01%.
Big Spile should what? Big Spile should smile more, says the Chilean, or spile more. He spiled at times. We gotta go on to Dare at the big desk though.
What we're going to do here for our Money Talk site, we did this once before and it was pretty well received, so we're going to do it again. We're going to talk about certain comments made by different Fed members because we had a lot of Feds speak today. And we're going to go in chronological order, starting with Fed's Daily, who began speaking at 7:30 this morning for Bloomberg TV. Amongst her comments, she said that basically the decision to cut base rates by 100 basis points this year was to put rates in, quote, the right place, and that the recalibration phase of the rate cycle is now over. Fed Chair Powell basically said the same thing during his press conference with the FOMC on Wednesday. Also, Fed's Daily said that inflation is still not uncomfortably high there at 2.5%, but is being balanced with the labor market, saying even further that if the labor market weakens, quote, notably, we might have a different take here for rate cuts. So Fed's Daily's base point for rate cuts next year is going to be 2 cuts. Keep that in mind here. Then we're going to get comments from Fed's Williams. These came through starting at 8:30 a.m. for CNBC. And much like Fed's Daily, there's a little bit of caution here. One word that came up a lot in Fed's Williams comments was the word uncertainty. There's uncertainty about policy coming forward with the new administration. There's uncertainty around inflation. And yeah, really said, quote, lots of uncertainty. So that's really the best way to summarize his remarks here. But he said the Fed will make sure we get inflation to 2%, and said that recent data, though it's been a touch higher, is generally consistent with the Fed's economic projections. Excuse me. Last but not least, his face is not here. Last but not least, your Fed's Goolsbee gave by far the most hawkish comments, most dovish comments of the day, saying that there will be, quote, judicious rate cuts next year, and saying also that, just echoing with regards to economic uncertainty with ongoing policy as the Trump administration steps in, but Fed's Goolsbee generally a lot more dovish, saying that he does see rate cuts next year, and also saying that especially in the next 12 to 18 months, there will be some cuts. We saw the market pop up as Fed's Goolsbee began speaking around 10 a.m. So unfortunately, his face is not here, but that's summary of the comments there for Fed's Daily, Williams, and Goolsbee. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. ENPH having itself a day.
I wanted to ask you, did you own any JPEGs or?
What do you mean?
NFTs.
Oh, no, JPEG, like JPEG, the file format? No.
JPEG.
No.
Yeah,
I was never
no.
an NFT guy.
No, me neither. I never had.
I believe in some of the value in it for like fine art and stuff like that to be able to prove ownership.
Ownership,
That's available also on the blockchain though.
It's on the Ethereum chain, isn't it?
Yes. I don't understand why it has to be an NFT format because we already know smart contracts on the blockchain can prove ownership of like literally anything, right?
Yeah.
Ahmed, I think those are Ram. What kind of money is that? You're very familiar with all the Saudi money. Is that dirhams? Thank you very much, Ahmed. Pull EDTH trigger for Tesla. What is that? What is
pull the trigger for Tesla short.
Pull the trigger for Tesla short. Oh. Yeah, you are not wrong. It looks like as if, the market in general is taking a bit of a curl down. Everything, really. Meta, Microsoft, Google, everything's coming down. NVIDIA, the NQ. You're having a bit of a different look here on Amazon, though, guys. You're curling up, and you had multiple bottoming tail candles, all of which show buyer exuberance, and then you're preceded by a big boy green candle here. So Amazon's singing a bit of a different tune, but it's also the most anemic of the bunch on the day. I mean, Meta and Amazon are quite anemic. 0.5% for Amazon and only about 0.17 for Meta. So they're kind of weak on the day. Apple is kind of trying to hold 253 and by, it looks like maybe the 20 exponential as well. So yeah, you're not wrong. There's definitely market weakness, whether I would take Tesla as opposed to maybe, a Meta or a Microsoft or a Google that show more of a pronounced arc to the downside. Yeah, it's a good look, but let me know how it goes. GameStop, we're still involved in that. I'm going to wait for a break of the $0.50. It did fail the $0.50. You can see it wicked up to about 54s or 55s, and now we're down into that third of a dollar, mid-30s. We'll pack our patience on that one. TPIC is annoying me. Like that clearly that seller at 82 we have been able to take him out. But the thing is, we've been putting in higher lows on TPIC. So I've been packing my patience because it's an ascending wedge, right? We got the higher lows with that flat top. We usually get a flat top break. Whether we get it or not this time, an entirely different story. Just trying to put the odds on my side. So in GameStop, in TPIC, I can certainly be persuaded to get into a Mag 7 name if there's a marked trend change, like a bounce off a key moving average or something to that effect. We'll keep an eye out on the market. Joseph, the ES and the NQ identical, 1.42, 1.41 on the day. Yep. The Dow is up 1.5, and the Russ up 1 and a fifth.
And a fifth
so
there,
everything's in green.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we went over the performing sectors, Sharif, and we had everything in green today. And sure enough, we're still holding on to, I think the majority of these, sectors are still green. And we're actually picking up some steam. So consumer staples is in last place, up about 0.7% there, and then second last place is the communication sector. So still up about a percentage point on the session. All right, and then real estate really started to pick up steam. So let's take a look at XLRE. All right, let's take a look at the best performing sector and what this chart looks like for the folks. Okay, yeah, kind of just trailing the overall market, but putting in a really nice day thus far. Again, I said you could almost play pin the tail on the market and find something that was going long today. So again, really nice session. This pullback was due, and the one thing about this pullback that I want to kind of just take note of, it's not overly aggressive. It seems like just a smooth, cool like pullback. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's really positive. We do know that addition and deletions are coming up around at the bell or into those closing minutes. So we're going to continue to monitor that because the volume is going to step up a little bit on that front. So again, leave yourself some playing room. Either if you're in the money or a little bit red, just give yourself a little bit of room in order to potentially make some setups and play some trades leading into those time frames. All right, guys. So just keep that in mind. I'm all out of IBIT here. I don't have much left on the TQs. It took most of it out, but as I mentioned to Sharif, we did break some of those key support levels, and then we headed to we headed to the southeast there. All right, so just keep that in mind. We're now slowly pulling back, really healthy for the market, but we're gonna send it to Sharif with an ad read.
Yes, sir. Trade smarter, guys, not harder, by upgrading to that elite trading experience. I'm talking about e-signal. You'll be able to analyze, strategize, and then hopefully after that, you'll be able to capitalize by foreseeing those profitable opportunities with the platform that you need. You get a bunch of stuff with this, guys. You get infinite data. You get instant trading. You get to know where the market is moving before others with that lightning fast execution and data. And people really compliment their charts that change the game, some would say. You can customize and analyze the markets faster and in your specific way. And we all know that a good trading plan requires sound back testing. That's what you get here. You get better backtesting, you get better scanning, you can predict the future by understanding the past, reliable real-time data up to the second market information from hundreds of global markets. It's everything you need all in one place, so don't miss a beat. Execute your best trades now. If you're ready to elevate your trading, scan that QR code on the bottom right of your screen or click the link in the description of this video. Shout out, and bang, we take out TPIC. I was really happy that I packed my patience with this, Joseph. We took out 88s, finally. Now 95 is the high of day. You're not gonna catch me wetting my beak at the high of the day. We're gonna wait for that break. I didn't wait all this to take it out at the high of the day. So let's see if we can get a break and take of $2 on TPIC, a beautiful hold of the volume weighted average price. And now we're looking to test that $2 area. And where's the entry at? We're long 72s. So here we go with 93s, packing my patience. Let's see what comes. GameStop right back into that highs again. Good higher lows with GameStop. Here we go with that 45 penny area again. Let's see if we can make a bit of a bigger high this time, Joseph. Last time we got like a penny or two above that $0.50. That ain't gonna cut it. I wanna wait at 69s. So hopefully we can kind of clear the $0.50, by a little bit. We'll see what comes. Jay Lee, shout out to you. He's in TPIC. Adara's at the big desk.
Yes, Catalyst isn't really moving the stock, but I think it's pretty interesting, especially given our conversations about crypto early today. Google announcing that as of January 15th, advertisers offering cryptocurrencies exchanges, specifically in the UK, are actually going to be allowed to advertise when they meet, quote, some requirements that they must be certified then by the company. So basically, Google is going to allow advertisement here for certain cryptocurrency exchanges. It is apparently this based entirely in the UK, this rule as of right now. It will be started January 15th, and looks like Google needs to certify these companies as well. But looks like we'll have a little bit more cryptocurrency advertisement coming through in the UK, potentially allowed by Google. Back to you.
Yeah, should have been. That's a mistake. Thank you very much, Adara. All right, guys, we are now knocking the door of $2 here on TPIC. We're up 2%. I've set my beak wetter on the north side of 2. We're going to wait at 205s. We can see if we can get that break. We have already cleared the pre-market high, or sorry, the previous high. The previous high we printed at $12.35, and it was $1.95. Now we got 198 HOD. Here comes 99s. We're about to print 99s on the ask. There is size at the whole dollar at 2. But, you know, these ones have a way of just blown through size, especially if a bigger order comes in. Here comes 203s, 202s on the bid. Let's see if we can get that 205 print. I'm not flattening out here because I know Joseph's going to go like this.
It was the call. Oh, what happened there? No.
There it is. There it is. We get the print at 205. TPIC up over 68% now. Let's watch this one go. Beautiful volume weighted average price hold. Joseph on a small cap.
Yeah, for sure. We got someone in the chat. Trade thoughts on BA. Let's pull up BA, and we have recovered. We mentioned this not too long ago. We're up probably now more than 30% off of those lows. So this thing is really starting to pick up a little bit of steam here, folks. I mean, it was just brutalized for a better part of a year. Boeing, that is, again, just having so many issues, quality issues. Then they have a bunch of their workers going on strike. This thing was struggling for a long time. Doors were opening midair. There's screws falling out everywhere. It was a hot mess in Boeing. But again, right now, I mentioned this time and time again, it doesn't have too much competition in the commercial airspace, like Airbus and what else, really. So the majority of planes that you fly on are Boeing or Airbus. So just keep that in mind. I think this stock does eventually start to recover. I mean, from a historical standpoint, It's not the prettiest chart at all, and it's so confusing, but I don't understand why. I guess it's not, but I'll figure that out. But again, yeah, really big double top here on Boeing. But again, I just mentioned we're really starting to recover it off those lows, over about 30% now, which is really positive for this stock. There's no doubt about it. Let's wait for some reports to come out, a couple positive quarters, and then I'm sure enough, I think it can continue on that path that it is right now. But guys, let's see what the Qs are doing. I only have one out left on this thing. Let's see if it goes and makes a new low. I would assume that if the Qs are selling, then I think NVDA and some of the mega cap might be pulling back as well too. Let's take a look at NVDA here, folks. Yeah, kind of hovering around those levels. Let's take a look at AMD. Yeah, AMD slightly trading below the volume weighted average price, putting in that slow curl over as the rest of the market is. And I really I'm curious what Google was up to because it was so strong. Again, hasn't pulled back as deep, but just look at this parabolic price movement. Fantastic stuff on the mags this session so far. And I do think that we can continue on that path. Again, come 2 o'clock, volume might step in, and then as we get closer to the close, who knows what's going to happen, because we know that a lot of contracts do have to be closed coming up. But again, this is my last out. Oh, what did I do here? My last out here, folks, on the Qs. We're going to punch it out here. I don't know if we get, I didn't get where I wanted, but that's okay. We're all out of the Qs here now, folks. That was a nice one. Again, I just stuck into this stock. I was like, I thought we were extremely extended, so I'm just like, let me wait, be patient. I don't want it to try to catch any tops here, but as soon as we started to curl over, we put in this engulfing candle here on the 5-minute, and I'm like, okay, it's not the exact topping signal that I'm looking for, but it's relative to what I need, especially up at these levels. Sure enough, we had the inability to make any new highs, and then we slowly curled over there. My guy, what are you cooking up?
Sir, keeping my eye here on GameStop. It is coming off the low, off the highs, guys. So we made a lower high. We didn't quite make it back up into that 30.5, and now we're back at 30.5. So it's still a higher low vis-a-vis the hold of 30 so far. That is underlined so far. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. But there is something afoot here with Amazon. So we were talking about the relative weakness of the market lately, everything kind of curling back down. The Amazonian has been kind of doing these bottoming tail candles, and now we've got a 4-candle higher low, higher high sequence, and it looks like we're about to take 225 again. Now, we did kind of use 225 as an area of support before when we were dancing into that 226 and a fifth area. So my question to myself is, do we reject 225 now if we kind of work back up to it, use it as resistance because it was previously support? So Amazon curling, moving higher, weak though on the day relative to the other Mag 7. Amazon and Meta have been trading. Which one is weaker on the day? They're both down below 1%. Amazon 0.64, Meta 0.39. So you guys get it. We'll keep an eye here on Amazon if it wants to be a bit of a counter trend trade as this market drops down a bit. The future is still coming down. Have a look at the top right over here where it says NQ March contract. We're still putting in lower lows, lower highs. We're below 21.7. We're below the 10. We're below the 20. We're kind of in no man's land, not an area that I would basically get in or get out. It's kind of an indefinable area. But I'm also keeping an eye on Apple because Apple has been fighting with 253 for a hot minute. Now, we did get this bottoming tail candle here at 140, so the previous 5-minute candle, as opposed to the one that we're in, but we've got like no discernible trend. Some topping tail candles, some bottoming tail candles here on Apple. It tested that all-time high, 254. Again, it got into 253.93. We already discussed that all-time high was 254.25. So it was a quarter dollar, excuse me, off that all-time high. So keeping my eye on Apple and keeping my eye on Amazon, seeing if there are any opportunities for me there. Let's flip back to GameStop. GameStop with a bottoming tail candle through the 20 exponential. Is this a buy zone on GameStop for me here? I think I'm going to add here on GameStop, Joseph, because I only have one more out left, and I think I want to have a little bit more. But there's only 15 more minutes left on the show. Guys, TPIC is really going, so we'll digress a second away from GameStop. Let's talk about the one that's really moving now, almost 80%. Here comes the high, 219. It looks like it's going to get taken out. 220, TPIC, big mover right now. It's the strongest of the small cap gappers in my humble estimation. So we'll see if it's able to take out that 219, kind of a double top at that area. There does seem to be price action support just around that $2 area. The topping tail candle that we put in at 12.25 or 35, excuse me, it got into $2. You also have that $2 area as an area of psychological support. Here comes the high day again here on TPIC. We're all done with this trade though. We got out at 05s, and so I'm not going to add here because I don't want to have to deal with this. But here we go, 20 pennies showing up. There is size at the 10 penny area here at 220. Lots of chop and churn. Look at the volume, just chop and churn on this. And we take out the high, Joseph, 220 now, HOD on TPIC. Let's see if we can take out that $0.25. Guys, 17% and change short float over here so we can get that bigger squeeze. And we already know its float's already small. There goes 2.25. This one's really going. Here comes 2 1/3. TPIC, big boy squeeze. What are you looking at?
I'm just talking to LBM. He's like, yeah, the TQs is still 6.5% lower than it was on the Wednesday drop. Yeah, because it's leverage, right? So those moves are a little bit bigger and harder to recoup. So just keep that in mind. But I like that point, LBM. Thanks for pointing that out. There's no doubt about that. PLTR possible double top I'm seeing. Let's pull up PLTR here. ELTR, Palantir, Alex Carp. Yeah, potentially. I see what you're looking at here. Let's see what's coming up in the coming minutes. If it has the inability to breach that, then yeah, maybe a failed high, then you can continue to the south side. Yeah, we'll continue to look at that. You know what's I'm really frustrated with myself that I didn't trade PLTR on that run up. Yeah, that sucks on my behalf, but that's okay. There'll always be something else trending. Excuse me. The SPY and the Qs are just hovering around this 592 area on the SPY. I don't know how much lower it's going to go, but we're just slowly crawling, which is it's good. It's not like rapid or momentum really stepping in, as I mentioned before, on this pullback here. Again, you're going to have to wait for price to really signal that you're going to turn around and then potentially make another leg higher. I don't know if that's going to be the case today, but anything can happen come 350 as well too. So just keep that in mind, folks. I'm all out of the TQs, as you can see here. The reason why I got in this is that I had that engulfing, that 5-minute engulfing candle, and then sure enough, we had the inability to breach the high. My stop being that high of day, which is totally reasonable with the risk to reward ratio, as you can see here, hitting at about a 3 to 4 to 1 on that front. So that's what you really want to keep it, because if I was wrong, I'm punching out there. And if it was going to turn around, then I can just reassess the situation and then look for a potential out as well too. Let's talk about Bitcoin daily. We're starting to get that print that I was looking for. Then it's just after that, it's going to be a little bit more confirmation. So let's see what happens here. If we do close like this, it's not as isolated as I would like, which is totally fine, but we are holding these support systems really well on the cryptocurrency. So I think we can hold. If we do head a little bit south, then there's going to be some more potential downside. Are we going to go and test these breakout levels? That would be pretty hectic, but again, I think we can come and test maybe 80s, mid 80s or something along those lines, but only time will tell. I do think that we do chop in this specific range and then potentially go higher there. Sharif, what do you think, brother?
With respect to the triple Qs?
The Bitcoin himself. Bitcoin himself.
Yeah, let's have a look. Oh. Yeah, look, I didn't add, and I'm really disappointed about
at the low?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't have any orders out. I don't know. I was unprepared. Let's just call it space.
No, that's totally fair. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, "Whoa, okay." I wasn't like shocked. I expected to be a little bit more volatile to the downside, but 92, I was like, that's all right. But again, I mentioned this before, Sharif. If we get this like that bottoming tail candle print, if it closes like that and then we sit on top, that could be a potential add, and then we can have a little bit of definitive. Like a stop maybe if you take a little off if it does breach, or we just.
I'm adding. Yeah. I'm committed.
I think this is gonna. I think this would be a good area. I think coming the next day or two, if we sit on top, then that might be a good projection that we might climb a little bit higher.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's talk some GameStop over here. I'm still debating whether to add. We've been hanging out at 18s here for a while, and we're at that 20 exponential. We're holding the 20 exponential. I just don't want to have to nurse this while I'm at the green screen. So that's kind of my only concern. Now, let's talk about some other trades that are starting to manifest that have been kind of dead for the majority of the afternoons. TPIC, we already know about that one. It's printing to the high days at 239. Big boy move here, TPIC. QUBT had a nice predictable area bounce at the volume weighted average price. It's still putting in, though, guys, that downward channel off the highs at 1988. So if VWAP or not, I mean, we're still putting in lower lows, lower highs, and it fits neatly into that downward channel. I need a big boy break above 18.5 before I feel that the trend to the downside has changed. I'm not going to just base it on a perfunctory breach of an upper trend line. So QUBT up 18%. I didn't have anything out at VWAP. That was an oversight on my part. 17.25 or thereabouts was the level for the dip trade, and you would have paid. It would have paid. It would have paid at least 75 pennies, if not more. So we'll keep an eye out on that. QMCO, another quantum name, waking up from the dead over here, holding what it seems to be the 50 exponential moving average on the 5, but most notably now with QMCO, it's taken VWAP and taken it quite aggressively. Big boy breakthrough through 43, and now we're knocking the door 45. I should warn you guys, though, this one spread a little bit larger than most. I looked last was about 30 pennies. It looks like it's just trading like that right now. So QMCO on the way up, taking VWAP, but not out of the water quite yet. What are we doing here with GameStop? Are we still dilly-dallying? No, we are now dropping down into that 30-10 area. I've already moved up my stop. I won't be adding into this. We'll just have to kind of wait it out. And yeah, that's all I've got at the moment. It looks like the MAG, or the MAG 7, that is kind of in a consolidative pattern. It looked like they were dropping, but you can kind of see Amazon bouncing, Apple consolidative, Tesla trying to hold 440, likewise with Google bouncing back now above 191. NVIDIA sideways as well above 134, but I think we're all looking for that 135 break and take and a take of the hold as well. So I'm packing my patience over here. It feels like the future and the market might be curling back up. You're starting to see some greenery here on some of these names. So I think if it was earlier, definitely be getting into like a TSLL or an Apple. Here goes Apple again. There's 253.25. Amazon's on the way back up. Joseph, we're curling up here, bro.
Yeah, see?
So there might be a situation where we got stopped out though.
Yeah, we got stopped. Yeah, we're done. We got stopped out. Yeah, we got in at a bad
because we
time,
punched in at highs.
Yeah, we touched it at highs, man. So
even though I think we probably print on that right now. What was our out? 516 something?
No, it was 590, 596.30.
We got to 597.75, but yeah, so we wouldn't have printed on
the
that
high.
The high of the SPY today is 595.
Yeah, 95. Yeah,
595. I misspoke.
We weren't fine there.
595.75. Yeah, so that's kind of look there. I want to also let you know another small cap gap or two other ones. Sorry, Rigetti and Optics both coming in to highs. Rigetti putting in higher lows. Rigetti wants to take out 10. It's been dying to take out 10 all day. 989 HOD on RGTI. And you have OPTX as well. I traded this one to no end earlier. It broke below VWAP, and I paid the price for getting back in below VWAP. And here comes VWAP again. Kind of looks like that rounded bottom. The boys are buzzing, as Joseph would say back there, because they got poker night today. Should be a good one. And yeah, what are you going to do today?
What am I going to do? Yeah. I'm looking to clean up, my guy. What do you mean?
What's the buy-in?
It was $20.
$20.
Are you in or what?
I don't think so.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that good.
Come on, man. Donate to the cause.
Donate to the cause. Yeah, I don't know.
Would you say that?
I think you said Neil's staying, right?
We got a couple sharks in the building, man. Watch out. Yeah. Fishy waters. Beware, all right?
I like it.
Some big boy players there. Just a little backstory. I remember back in the day when I worked for Bell Canada and I just first started working, the boys would have poker nights after, and I would go and play, and nobody knew me, and I was a young jit at that time in my early 20s, and I would make like an easy extra $150, $200 a night just cleaning these guys out of poker.
You were fading them.
Yeah. And they used to call me second. They used to call me second place because I would just play for second place, right? What
is it called when you like fake someone but thinking
bluff?
No, not in poker, but when you make someone think that you're not as good as something as you're actually are. You feign them in like poker, like sorry, not poker. Pool.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
A pool bluff or something like that. But no, poker shoes.
Sharking someone said,
Sharking.
"Oh, thank you,
Sharking.
oh, he is the one, Canoe."
Shark.
Yeah, sharking someone.
Yeah,
said,
but
"Oh."
yeah, but that's what they call me, Joey Shark. So yeah, that's it, man. We're looking forward to that one. The boys are roaring in the back already,
Yeah,
but don't forget
excited.
they're in here for 350. That's what really matters to them, right? Never mind the poker night. That's fun,
Hustler.
but a pool shark.
Yeah, pool shark, hustler. Yeah, there we go.
shark,
Sorry,
there
guys.
you go.
I kind of blanked out. The chat always keeps you honest. They always fact check you. I love it.
There, my guy. So
Right.
that's it.
Keeping you very honest.
But Sharif, look at this. PLTR. Starting to climb to that high. Actually, surpassed the high day. Now making a new high day on Palantir. Alex Karp and company starting to climb higher and higher, engulfing this whole consolidation phase right here. Does it come and test that all-time high at near the close? I think so, but Joey,
What is this guy? He's trolling you, bro. What is this guy? Jabroni. That's actually quite a good one,
yeah,
bro.
it is a good one.
Big Spiles,
Thanks for the
creative
$2, buddy.
AF, bro. He's a joker.
He is a
Shout out to
joker.
the Spiled one.
Guy's a
I'm
joker,
stopped out of GameStop. That's the last little beak wetter we got there. So it's all over for all my trades. Now we got 3 minutes left on the show. Obviously, it's not Christmas weekend, but yeah, everybody's got family coming over. I got my sister weaseling in from LA. Why she wants to stay at my place rather than my parents' place, I don't understand. But I think she just wants to be in the city, to be fair. So I'm going to have to host her, Joseph.
Who, your mom?
My sister's.
Oh, your
yeah,
sister.
she's coming in
Oh,
from
she's
LA.
coming
Yeah. So it's going to be nice there. We're going to be doing some Christmas shopping, obviously.
Nice.
Take out the Rugrats. They're not even Rugrats anymore, bro. One's in first year unit. One's a freshman in college, and the other one's
really?
a sophomore. Yeah, bro.
Okay.
When they were here, they moved. One was grade 8, one was grade 6. So they've definitely grown up since then.
Yeah, for sure. We only got 2 minutes left, Sharif.
yeah.
JV asked me, Joe, can you help me analyze PLTR 78 call expiry today? Yeah, that's a tough look, man. You're at the money pretty much right now. I don't know where you bought it at or how much you paid. Again, that contract's value is probably going to diminish. Like, again, if you were to close it right now or exercise it, you have the rights at 78, so you can make $100, but with that time value that you probably lost, there's not much you can do. But what you can do is, if it really decides that it wants to roar, what you can do is hold on to that contract and then just sell shares, but you don't have much time, man, until like 406, 412, I think is the last time you can exercise that. And I don't know, some brokers won't, but if, again, you might have to chew that one. Just put it in your back pocket and forget about it unless you can close it right now, but otherwise you probably lost a lot of time value on that one. So sorry to hear. Not much I can tell you. Just try to mitigate those losses and just see what best fits your idea, all right? That's it.
Shout out to Kyle Burdett, Joe, Sharif. Hope you guys got a tree, or you a Festivus pole kind of guy? Yeah. Show them the pole. Festivus for the rest of us, baby. You know Seinfeld? You know about that?
I despise that show.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like
I
that
love
show,
Seinfeld.
man.
Whoa,
Yeah,
Neil did not like hearing that.
I'm not a big
bro.
Seinfeld guy.
Yeah, I'm a big Seinfeld guy. So
No.
Festivus is like George Costanza.
You know what? So anyway, before we send it off to those guys, me and my boys used to hang out and we let it run on replay for like 6 hours. And
Is that why you hate it?
Yeah, and it's just like that when it changes scenes, that tune just drives me nuts.
Yeah, it was always this thing. But anyway, no, I got a tree, bro. I got a tree. I always make sure to decorate the tree, and we always have fun decorating it at the place. But it is now 2 o'clock, and it is time to send you to the big kahunas. Joe and I will be back on Monday, same bad time, same bad channel. See everybody at the green screen. Take it over, big kahunas.
See everybody.
Kahunas. Kahunas.
That's interesting. Oh, there.